Hi everyone, it's round 3 tonight of the 2018 Boost Mobile Supercars E-Series. The first 2 rounds have been very exciting. We've got a tearaway championship leader. Can anyone catch him tonight? Joining me in the studio, very special, warm welcome to driver of the Harvey Norman 78 Nissan Altima, Simona De Silvestro. Woo. Great to have you here tonight, Simona.
Thank you.
And Hysterics, who's fresh out of
Why
packs.
do I always follow these hard acts? Every single week I come in, you've got some
next time I'll introduce you first.
amazing driver that's like, oh, it's Hysterics in here as well, but it's good to be back.
How was PAX?
PAX was great.
Yeah.
PAX was really good.
What I missed?
I'm a little bit buggered after the weekend. Well, I got my picture taken in front of the Forza, the car down there, so I got custom number plate and everything as well. So
fancy.
yeah,
Pretty
no,
cool.
if you missed out on that, you'd be a little bit disappointed, but I got it.
So tonight, round 3, Forza Motorsport 7. We're on the Xbox tonight. It's been very, very competitive until this point. Now, Bathurst last year, we were in the first ever Supercars Harvey Norman Xbox Challenge, and we had the Pro-Am race with you out there. How do you think you went in your first esports appearance?
Well, I felt like the real big amateur in it. So yeah, it was quite tricky actually, and a lot of fun. You know, these guys, you know, it's pretty incredible how they're driving these cars on the Xbox, and it was just a lot of fun to try it out and try to get close to their lap times. So it was a big challenge, but yeah, it was fun.
We sort of threw in the deep end a little bit. It was under lights at Bathurst, and having to share with these guys who we've seen over 2 weeks now are pretty legit.
No, especially when Jacob Harvey comes through, who's been in the scene for a while as well. And I think a lot of these players, we'll call them, are very passionate about driving. And hopefully one day, we've actually got Mad Racer who's making that transition into real-time driving, hopefully going to be on the Bathurst circuit next year. So it's great to see the transition and maybe the possibility of it.
Not a bad place to start. So like I mentioned, round 3, we've had 6 big races to lead us up to this point. Probably the best racing of the season so far was this time last week. Let's check out the highlights of what was a very exciting round 2. It was 9 laps of spectacular Silverstone to get us underway for round 2, the 4th race of the 2018 Boost Mobile Supercars E-Series. Andrew Dyson, Semper, was the pole sitter, but ran wide on the very first lap. Jacob Harvey, Haro 5, needed no second opportunity and sliced past the 29-year-old to take the lead. From there, it was all Harvey as our 2017 Bathurst Esports Challenge winner took his first victory of this year's series. Dropping from pole to last at Silverstone, Dyson started the reverse grid race 5 at Hockenheim from pole. A controversial start saw him clear out early. He survived clever strategy from series leader Matthew Bink, Mad Racer 38, who ran in clean air for the bulk of the race to take the win. Race 6 of the championship was an absolute nail-biter. Starting from pole, Bink was under pressure from consistent front-runner Adrian Yalpi, Ultimate Age 05. Bink pressed on as Yalpi pitted mid-race. Just behind, Dyson and Harvey were in the scrap of the series so far, running side by side for well over a lap as they both tried to reel in Bink and Yalpi. Bink pitted on the second last lap and re-emerged in the lead with Yalpi, Haro 5 and Semper just behind. He went on to take the win and extend his series lead, the 2018 Boost Mobile Supercars E-Series. Mad Racer 38 has been pretty much unstoppable so far in season 2018, hasn't finished lower than second. So he's been ultimately consistent. How are they going to stop him tonight?
Oh, tonight you have to wonder if this guy can fall below first or second first, because every single night we've seen him, this passionate driver has been consistent. He has been dominant. How do you stop him? Well, you got to, I mean, you can't use force, really. We've decided that over the first week, so I don't know how you stop him.
We'll have to get some tips off Simona in a moment. Let's check out the championship points, because like we mentioned, he is breaking away. Now, Simona, you get 20 points for a race win. We're up to race 6 already, and he's broken out a 30-point lead. So he's doing pretty good. Yeah,
that's really good. You know, I think the thing is you get a bit of pressure when you're leading a little bit like that. So you get a bit more antsy easier, I think, when you're driving. But yeah, he seems like he's been, kind of on a roll. So yeah, hopefully he'll have a good weekend.
We've got some people catching up though. This is the great thing as well. I think our top 4 are the ones to look at, especially coming into week 3 here, and especially coming into, I think, some of the quicker races we've got here tonight. So people like Titi Azul, Superman, they've got a lot of catching up to do, but it won't be this week that we see them kind of close that gap.
Yeah, we saw Holden 96 take his first podium last week, which is pretty cool. I think that was the first race of the weekend at Silverstone, so pretty good results there. Let's switch our attention to what we've got coming up tonight. Everyone online keen to get into things. Hit us with your comments, hit us with any questions you've got for Simona, because these are 3 tracks where Simona has been in action before. So first one up, Long Beach.
I know, yeah, so Long Beach is a really cool track. Actually, that's where I got my one of my first win in Formula Atlantics in 2008. So it's quite a cool place, tricky place. A lot of different patches and stuff like that, but it's awesome. It's close to LA, so it's. I think when we were racing there in IndyCars, it was always fun to go there.
Home of Snoop Dogg, isn't it? Long Beach.
I didn't bring that one up to me.
Is it really?
Yeah. We're talking about this before. We're like, I think it is, but surely he'd be there.
So street circuit, we haven't had one yet. Obviously, something that we see a lot of in supercars.
Yeah. So yeah, it's. I think it's cool. I really like street courses because the walls are there when you're always on the edge. You have to sometimes try different lines because the grip level is a bit different because of the asphalt changes and stuff like that. So it's really cool. Has a really tricky hairpin actually. That is tricky in an IndyCar to get around because it's just really tight and long straightaway. And you go around the fountain. It's a bit off camber and stuff like that. So it's a fun place to drive at.
So that's where qualifying is going to be tonight. 13 laps. Reminder, pit stops. Now race 2 tonight. All 3 are in the Americas. I would have to say you're the only driver out of the 26 at Supercars who's actually driven here, Lime Rock Park in Connecticut.
I know, Formula BMW, I think I won a race there as well. So it's quite small track. I think they still race there, in IMSA and stuff like that, which is a tiny little track. I think the lapping will be coming on really quickly, but it has one jump. And I still have one picture in Formula BMW where I'm actually like all 4 wheels in the air.
Really?
So hopefully we'll
style.
see that tonight on the game as well.
Hopefully we can see some of our races go into the air.
Exactly.
This place sort of reminds me it's a bit like an American Barbagallo, this place. It's 2.4K, it's got 7 turns, lap time's under a minute. But turn 1 and that run down to turn 7 has a little bit of Barbagallo in it. So really looking forward to how that translates tonight in a supercar. Like I said, all 3 are in the Americas. We're going to stick in the northeast corner up in the tri-state area because the 3rd track tonight is the Glen, and this is a seriously cool place. Now, a lot of people have always said if they could see supercars run anywhere, this would be the track.
Yeah, it's an awesome place. Like, there's so much elevation going on, and it's quite tricky. It's really fast as a racetrack, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think with a supercar, it's going to be quite hard as well because, I've run there with IndyCar, so a lot of downforce. So with a supercar, the car is going to move around a lot more, but I think it's going to be
What specific
really cool.
part of the map here are we looking at? Sorry, the track, excuse me, we corrected week 1. Are we looking at here to be the most difficult for the drivers?
Well, I think, we're doing the short track, so it's a bit different, more the NASCAR style track. So there's definitely, you need really good exits pretty much everywhere because there's pretty much all long straights everywhere. I'm not sure how the S's are going to be, if they're going to be flat out. I don't think they're going to be flat out in the supercar. I'm not sure. I should have tried it before, but it wasn't an IndyCar. I think it might be a little bit trickier with the supercar, so yeah, we'll see.
One thing they've all been talking about online, and remember these guys race each other very regularly, is the pit entrances and exits, particularly at the Glen and Long Beach, can get a little bit awkward. So with mandatory pit stops in each race, I think we might see a bit of drama getting in and out of the pits. Yeah,
it is. It's really tight, and you've got to really jump in there. So, but it's typical supercar racing. Some of the tracks we go to, it's sometimes as well really tricky to get in there. Like Barbagallo, a few people got turned around, so maybe we'll see some action like this tonight.
All right, so first track tonight is Long Beach, like we just saw. Let's take an onboard lap and take a closer look at this pretty cool circuit. Used to host Formula One back in the 70s and 80s. I think it still holds the record for someone coming from 22nd position on the grid to win a Formula One race back in the 80s. So it's got a lot of history, but mainly IndyCar and sports car these days. Headed up towards the water fountain. So how do you jag a race car through here?
Yeah, it's super tight. Like after the start, it gets really tight around there, but it has a really good flow to it. Here it's always a bit tricky to go on power. This one as well is a bit off camber, and you're using the curb, it moves the car around quite a lot. Here there's a the curb, you really take a lot of it. So there's a way to do it. Sometimes like kind of go in between the curbs. That helps a lot.
Curb use has been something of a talking point, particularly with the big flat curbs on the Formula 1 tracks last week being supercars. They were getting greedy on the curbs.
Easy, right?
Yeah, so I think they're going to try and govern that tonight. There was quite a few comments popping up on Facebook. The run around the back and under the, is it like a shopping complex or something around here?
Yeah, a little bit. There's some bridges and stuff like that. And this is a pretty long straight. And the braking is really awkward here. It's really bumpy. And actually, I crashed the car in this corner, so yeah, I wasn't like kind of.
Did you go straight ahead?
I broke really late.
Right.
I was committed and a bit too committed, like my dad would say. So just but yeah, here it's actually good flow, and the hairpin here, you really in the IndyCar actually you really had to get your hands off the wheel and grab it at a different place to actually get around it because you need so much lock around there.
How many times have you actually raced on this one?
Oh, quite a lot. I would say at least 6-7 times, yes. Yeah, with Formula Atlantics and then in IndyCar as well, yeah.
Oh, wow, and you've even won one as well, so
yeah.
That's absolutely insanity.
All right, so they're the 3 tracks tonight, and Long Beach is up first. Qualifying, looks like they've made their way out onto the track right now, so we'll check this out. You're watching the Boost Mobile Supercars E-Series, the first of its kind, and this is round 3 getting set for races 7, 8, and 9 of the championship. And all our cars carrying Boost Mobile and Harvey Norman colours tonight. Great to have the Harvey Norman racer herself on the desk, Simona De Silvestro. Like we've mentioned in the past, they're qualifying races, but we do take the fastest lap times to set the grid for race number 1. And our first chance to see what a supercar is like around Long Beach, which is pretty cool.
Sounds really good.
That's the main thing as well. And remember, these guys just setting the qualifying lap. It's all ghost mode, so they're pretty much going to be going out by themselves, not worrying about collision. We've seen a couple of rough turns over the over the E-Series so far, but this first one, all about that lap time, as you said, and especially gives them a bit of a warm-up. That's the most important part.
And we've seen really different results from qualifying to the races. The guy to watch in qualifying trim, that's getting greedy with the curbs. That's what we were talking about earlier.
So what happens there? Do they get a penalty or no? Or is it no?
He kind of self-penalised himself, then looked like it ruined the lap, and almost he backed out of it straight away.
I think a little bit wider out we discussed would kind of get that penalty, but...
So there definitely was a huge amount of chat about this today about how much they were going to try and govern that. But it's very difficult to watch all 8 at the same time with the way that E-Series works. So they will be watching for it, particularly in the races. But I think in that occasion, it was sort of self-penalising the way the car sort of cracked sideways. So down towards turn 1. And
of course, it was Semper as well who did it. So the past couple of weeks, Semper's almost spun out a couple of times. One of them, unfortunately, kind of took him away. And
yeah, we've started to notice that they've all got particular styles.
Yeah.
This guy is pretty tailing.
Definitely.
This is where you can take some curb on the inside. Turn 5, back to the front straight. So lap times around here, I think they were doing 1:22s in their races earlier this week to give you something of an idea. What were you doing in IndyCar around here? Can you remember? Be almost on the 1 minute mark.
Yeah, it's pretty low 1 minute, I would say. Yeah.
Through the fountain. So what happens on the right there? Can you literally run into the garden?
Yeah, there's actually during the race there's more and more like leaves and flowers that end up on the racetrack because everybody keeps cutting it a bit more and stuff like that. So yeah, no, it's good. And that corner we just saw is really tricky. It really goes off camber there, and it's really busy on the wheel. So I'm sure they're going to be feeling that as well right now.
I think it's definitely one that they're going to struggle with when we get into that first race, especially when we put that collision back on, especially since we've discovered since last week how tricky it is, especially around some of these corners. This looks like one that could test our drivers, and starting all the way back at Bathurst and now getting up to Long Beach here. We're now in America. We've done almost the full road trip. I'm excited that we're at a point where our drivers have had a bit of experience, have had a bit of getting to know each other, even though they do race against each other. So this one will kind of test them and test their limits and test to see if someone like TDI Zulz, who we're watching here, can make that climb finally.
Like we mentioned earlier, a lot of these guys run in their own league together. They've had 2 races at Long Beach this week alone, both 45-minute races, so longer than the ones that we do. And the same guy won both, Mad Racer 38, who's our championship leader.
Which is unexpected at the start of this competition. Yeah.
No surprises there. Lap times, we've got a couple dipping into the 122s. TDI Zulz down into the 122s. That might have just been last lap through, but hey, that'd be a pretty good result for him. He's sitting 8th in the championship, so we'd love to see him. John O'Burrows from Tasmania get up and maybe score a podium this week.
Yeah, sitting 8th at the moment. I think he's on about 22 points, so this needs to be the week, like we said, for him to start climbing back up.
At the moment, at least, he's the only 1:22 that I've seen pop up. Good chance to talk before we get into the races, because I reckon the pit stops will start as early as lap 1. It's an awkward pit entrance off the hairpin here, like you mentioned, sort of Barbagallo-esque. but also the pit exit, because the racing line here, if you do go over to the right-hand side, we may get some drama there with guys coming out of the pits.
Yeah, you could go over. Nobody really does it like in general, but yeah, you could try to go over it. But yeah, so I think the pit stop is it's always a critical point, like in any racing. So it'll be interesting to see how these. So how do they just pick whenever they go? Like okay,
you can pit any time between lap 1 and the second last lap.
Okay, gotcha.
We've been learning styles as well. Coming back to this style point where, you know, people like Mad Racer, he'll pit towards that second last lap. He'll develop the lead. He'll pit then, and by then he's built up enough distance. Whereas people like, I think, Haro05, he pits earlier. It's that play style, I guess, coming into things.
Yeah, because the pit stop window's open the whole race, Simona, and you don't really have to worry about tight egg.
Yeah, so just
get out of the traffic.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's pretty much what everyone's been doing. Unless you're the leader, then run it long and make the most of the clean air. So they do try and mix it up a little bit. Didn't look like too many people getting over to the right-hand side going down to turn 1, which is what you're talking about, so that's good to see.
Some really rough corners in here, though. Now, take it from
welcome
my
to street
perspective.
circuits. Yeah, you haven't seen one of these yet because they've
it's all walls and stuff. That's the thing. I think in the race, you know, it can get pretty tight. If somebody, if you're too wide, somebody can push you into the wall. So that makes it quite different than just a regular track, and that's what we experience like in supercars when we're racing, because sometimes you do have to get out of it because you just run out of space, where on a normal track you maybe just drop your 2 wheels on the grass and nothing really happens.
So Holden 96 is ducked into the 1:22.7s. Quickest time, you can see it just below the track map. Best lap, Holden 96, 1:22.79. So I think we've seen 3. We're now Ultimate Age is into the 22s. So they're all pretty much there. Haro 5, 22.8. Semper 22.9. So pretty much the majority of the field has got down into the 22s. Semper has picked up the pole for the last 2 weekends running. Can anyone knock him off from that top spot?
Definitely might be to the likes of Ultimate Age 05, who still trailing behind. Second position right now, 78 points. Semper behind by only 4. So Haro 05 may be trailing that top 3, but still that top 4 seems to be cemented right now. And someone like Mr. Bucket is trying to climb back up.
We've got a few more spots to make up. Had an okay run, though, in qualifying last time out at Silverstone, and sort of ran with the lead pack at Hockenheim. Qualified 3rd for the first race, actually marked pretty. So 20-year-old from Adelaide's got some good qualifying speed. The funny thing is Mad Racer is actually all that speed he has in the race, he doesn't have in qualifying. He qualified 5th and 6th, but he hasn't finished lower than 2nd in a race. So whatever it is in qualifying doesn't seem to work for him. And then in race trim, he seems really quick. Just needs that single lap speed.
Yeah, same in real life, right? You always there's a
race better than you qualify.
Exactly. Some years where somehow qualifying just works out, and it's just easy to put a lap together, and then sometimes you're better in racing. So it's quite interesting to see that these guys are actually kind of going through the same a little bit as well.
This guy is one of our best qualifiers, Ultimate Age 05, racing out of here in Sydney. And over the last couple of weeks, hasn't finished higher than 2nd, but has finished on the podium for 5 out of the 6 races. So definitely one of the more consistent guys. Qualified 2nd for round 1, 4th for round 2, but was the quickest qualifier out of, how many qualifying laps was there? 64,000 laps
I think
qualify
there was
for the series.
No,
and he was
yeah, something like that. It was insane.
At Bathurst. So definitely one of the quick guys to watch out for. And you know what? I think it might have been him that you were sharing with last year now that I think about it at Bathurst. Adrian Yalpi, Ultimate Age 05. Rings a bell. So going quick down the back straight.
We'll
go with yes on that one. I don't want to throw Simona completely under the bus.
Thank you,
but I think that's who you were sharing with.
I think so too. But
from memory last year.
There you go.
It's over 12 months ago now. Not long left in this qualifying session. Hit us up in the comments. I'm trying to follow along. I've got the Facebook live stream happening, so wherever you're watching right now, whether it be Twitch or YouTube, if you head over to Supercars Facebook stream, we'll try and throw some questions Simona's way right now. Got the Supercars action heading this weekend off to Auckland, so we can ask her about that soon. One of the coolest tracks on the tour.
I'll start off the question line because I'm a very curious person, Simona. You'll find out throughout tonight. When you go through something like a crash, or when you go through something quite as intense as that, how do you recover, and how do you, if it's not serious enough, to get back into the race?
Yeah, it's it's kind of the thing of going back on the horse a bit. Like I've had a few big crashes in IndyCar where, yeah, I actually hurt myself. I had some burns on my hands and stuff like that.
Chad showed me a video before. It looked insane.
We're watching your best of highlights before you go.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, it's you know, it can be tricky, and definitely, you know, it's real life. You know, I think as a racing driver, you always feel a bit unbeatable and all that, and then you go out there and then something can happen. But you try to get back on it, and you know, if you still have a smile on your face, you keep going at it. But for sure, I think it took me at least 8 months to really kind of get over it and just, you know, find the confidence again back into it. Because actually what happened to me was a piece suspension failure. So it's not something, when you make a mistake, it's a bit easier to go over it. But if you have to find the trust in the material again, it took a while. But, you know, here I am, still racing, so
Very
yeah, you
strong
just
mentality.
get back on it. Yeah.
Do you feel safer racing in a supercar because you've got a roll cage around you and you're sort of inside? We check out the results right now. Do you feel any different being inside
actually,
a car?
I felt more claustrophobic, like going in. Because, well, the thing is, because for some reason I had a lot of fires in my career. And being in an open wheel, you know, you're pretty easy getting out, and that was actually a bit, you know, something that I was thinking about. But you know, the racing is pretty safe nowadays. You know, you don't really think about those things. The supercars are super safe, and but yeah, it's definitely a bit weird, you know, being inside and kind of. Yeah, when you're used to being open wheel for your whole life, pretty much, it was definitely something to get used to.
A massive difference. Hey, check this out. First place, from what I can see, down in 7th.
I think it looks like TDI's
TDI's done it. Zulz is there, so he's sitting last in the championship. The poor guy is having a bit of a rough run. I don't think he's finished higher than 5th in any of the races so
Maybe
far.
Maybe he's a street course specialist.
Yeah, there you go. Street course expert. He actually finished in the top 3 spots when we had the original Harvey Norman Supercars Challenge at Bathurst last year. So at a 1:22.6, I see that as the fastest lap time down there in 7th, so we might just have him on the pole for later tonight.
Hopefully he can maintain position, because that's always been the problem. Remember
Don't
when we got to
put
reverse
pressure on him.
No,
You are like, seriously.
but
Yeah, he's doing a good job
after
now.
all
you
this
know?
time, I'm so proud of him. I feel like a father growing with him. But when he gets to reverse grid, he struggles to maintain position. So it's all about that first race.
A couple more questions coming through, just looking along on the Facebook before we get into the first race. Breaking news that's sort of coming out today that the Queensland government's thinking about bringing IndyCar back to the Gold Coast. That's now your home.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to run at that track in IndyCar? It was just
no, I
finished
actually
before
just
you.
missed it.
Yeah.
Because my first year in IndyCar was 2010, so I think the last one was maybe 2008 or something like that. So just missed it. But it'd be cool to see them back. Maybe I could do double duties, you know, something like that. It'd be a busy weekend, but it'd be cool. Yeah, it'd be cool.
So maybe that's all just. Not so much speculation, but the government's definitely trying to make that happen, bring IndyCar back to the Gold Coast. If you want to be a part of the action tomorrow night, well, you can. It's called the Cup Series, and anyone can be a part of this. It's pretty cool. So it's casual, organised gameplay on Forza Motorsport 7. You go head-to-head with some of the best gamers anywhere in the country, and there's some really cool prizes up for grabs as well.
And I found out today it actually shadows the E-Series.
Yep.
So the tracks that the players play on today, our top 8 races here in Australia and New Zealand, we then simulate that again tomorrow. And if you want to get involved and you're a driver-to-be, someone like me I always compare myself to, then this is the way to do it. You can shadow our top drivers.
So head over to eseries.supercars.com to register. You can be part of the E-Series. It's happening tomorrow night. That's the Cup. And anyone can hop a part of that one and get out there and cut some laps. Some really cool prizes thanks to Harvey Norman up for grabs. So not too far away from getting into the first race tonight. How do we think this is going to play out, guys? Because we've seen some pretty different results in qualifying.
Oh, don't ask me. I'm not the expert. You're the expert.
I don't know.
From what we saw, TDI Zulz, like, this is good. This is what I want. I love change. You know, from everyday life to, you know, supercars, I love change. So if he can maintain position, that's fantastic. But it relies on this first race to how I kind of back him for the night.
As they're queuing up the lobby for this first race, let's chat to Simona about a little bit of stuff that's coming up, because obviously the last race of our championship and the Virgin Australia Supercars Championship is Newcastle. Now check this out, because last year Simona was on an absolute tear around this place. We've got some of your best moves lined up. There goes Tim Slade. You passed him. What was it about this track last year?
I don't. We had a really good car. It was just really hooked up that weekend, and we were really able to pass a lot of people. So hopefully we have the same again this year. You know, I wish we had that car a little bit at more races, but yeah, I think that the track kind of suits me. There's a lot of 90 degrees, so a lot of flow to it, and that's something I tend to like a lot. So a bit more driving style with more flow usually helps me a bit. So yeah, hopefully, I don't know, hopefully we'll actually finish where we were like gonna be. You know, that's the thing.
You didn't get the result that you probably deserved. If you look at the, if you look at the stat sheet.
Yeah, it was a bit miserable. But I think Tim like finished third in that first race. So yeah, it was just
bit up and down.
It's a better year.
Plans for next year, it's all been locked in. The rumour mill was going full burn from Townsville onwards, but plans for next year now locked in. Can you sort of lead us to what that's about now?
Well, same as this year, pretty much. So back with Nissan, and looking forward to it. I think this year it's been a really up and down season, a bit frustrating, to be honest. I think we're really quick in the races, but qualifying has been a bit of a struggle, and just getting the car right to extract that lap time has been a bit tough. But now we have 2 more races. Really focus on that to finish on a high, and then work over the off season to get going and have a strong year next year. Hopefully I'll be with the same engineer, so that will really help as well, and just have a bit of continuity will be good.
One of the cool things that you're doing away from the racetrack is a brand new initiative set up by CAMS to try and get women into motorsport at all sorts of different levels. It's called Dare to be Different. You've taken a really hands-on approach with that. How have you found that so far?
Yeah, it was cool. Actually, we were doing some simulator work and fun stuff, but like some of them were maybe a bit better than I did almost. There was pressure on, but it was really cool to see the girls just really get into it, and they have all these different workshops and things like that. And it was funny, like most of them really liked the pit stop challenge, which was actually taking tires off and putting tires back on. So it was really cool to see, and it just shows, if just give the opportunity, like same as me, I was really lucky. I was passionate about cars, and my parents, give me the opportunity to go driving, and here I am. So I think that's really cool, to see the girls and get really interested in different things.
Was there a lot of parent interest, or was it more like the daughters coming over saying, no, please, this is awesome, I want to get involved in this? Or was it kind of backed by the parents saying, hey, do you have any interest in cars?
Yeah, well, like for me it was definitely because my dad was around cars and stuff like that. But with the Dare to be Different, there's a lot of schools coming and stuff like that. So I think it's just opening their eyes a bit, and have some fun with it, and maybe get passionate about it. And I think that's how I was. I just saw cars and I thought it was cool, so I wanted to drive. So annoyed my parents. So maybe all these girls go back home and annoy their parents about maybe trying to be a mechanic, engineer, or driver, whatever.
Yeah, it's a really, really cool initiative, and nicely set up by CAMS and everyone that's involved. Really cool to see Simona a part of that. Let's turn our attention back to what we've got coming up tonight. It's round 3 of the Boost Mobile Supercars E-Series. If you've just hopped on wherever you're watching the live stream from, obviously we've got Simona De Silvestro on the deck tonight, and it's one of the tracks that she has raced at in the past. It's a famous one for IndyCar, going back to Formula One in the 70s and 80s. It's Long Beach, and the first street circuit that we're going to get into on the calendar as well. There will be a couple more that pop up a little bit later on. The American tracks, obviously you spent so much time racing in America, but they're so different, aren't they, to tracks that you would find in Europe?
Oh yeah, it's way different. It's some of them you go, like even Lime Rock, there's not much runoff around there, and it's pretty tight and everything. And then you go to a street course like Long Beach, where actually most of the ground is like concrete, so it's really tricky in the wet and stuff like that. But there's cool tracks, and I love tracks with elevation. You have a lot of them here in Australia as well, which is awesome, and it's a bit the same in America, where I think in Europe there's a few really cool tracks, but everything is really Europeanized, like a bit flat, you can cheat, like Hockenheim as well, turn 1, I was watching, I think, the DTM race the other day, and like people are just running like 4 car lengths over the line and stuff like that. I think it should be grass and gravel there, so it makes it more challenging. Same as we race here in Australia,
And there's plenty of fences to watch out for, particularly at this first one tonight. It's TDI Zul's off the pole. That's a huge result for him because, like I mentioned, it hasn't been a good year for him.
It has not been a good year, but it has been a good couple of weeks.
But you started, come on, guys. Jeez.
We're so rough.
He had such a good run at the first, the Harvey Norman Supercars Challenge that we had at Bathurst. He was like the guy to beat. And we believe it's because he's been trying to run the simulator at home. So I guess respect for trying to run the steering wheel and pedals, because as we've been talking about, most of the other guys are running on the controller.
I don't think we have anyone else.
I can't believe, like, on the control. That's
all right,
impressive.
So how will he handle the opening lap? We're off and racing. Here we are at Long Beach, race 7 of the championship. And can the man from Tassie hang on? He's got some pretty experienced guys around him. Haro 5 to the inside at turn 1, and there's contact straight away. He's put in the fence, but he manages to catch it. I thought that'd be just his luck. He qualifies on pole and gets put in the fence on the very first lap.
Yeah, see how tight it gets right there. It's crazy.
Usual traffic jam down through here at the moment. Holden 96 now to the inside of Haro 5. He gets sideways. I think they've realised that Ultimate Age 05 is one of the guys to beat. He's out the front, but Mad Racer down the back here in 6th. So how's he going to get back in the top 2 from here?
Starting position in 7th. It wasn't what we expected, but remember, anything can happen in this race. We've got 13 laps to go through here, and I think already we asked for blood. We got it straight off the bat.
Fairly exciting opening lap, to say the least, and amazingly, TDI Zulz wasn't completely turned around.
He's going to... Well, let's wait a few more corners.
Trying desperately to hang on in this opening lap. Huge chance here for Adrian Yalpi to cash in on a win. Let's check out what happened down here at turn 1. Fairly aggressive.
Yeah, really aggressive. Yeah.
Beating around.
Would he be in the naughty corner for that one?
Yeah. See, if that was me in real, I would have, I would have got in trouble like always. But, that's just because I think people had to.
A change for the lead happened going around the water fountain. That's something you don't usually say at a racetrack. Because he ran it just slightly wide, which handed the lead over to Ultimate Age 05. Will anyone take the early pit stop? Because the traffic there is pretty heavy. And looking at that, I can see at least 3 cars missing from that shot. So I'd say yes, pit stop action happening on the very first lap.
Superman, that's Holden, and I believe that's Haro 05 at the back end there as well. So, second lap, it's going to come through nice and early, but remember, people like Mad Racer, people like Semper as well, they'll leave it towards the end. And people like Ultimate Age 05, well, see if he fits into that bracket too.
Yeah, so the last 3 guys in timing, Haro 5, Holden 96, and Superman, I think they're the 3 that went into the pits, opened up something of a 28-second advantage. So that gives us a bit of an idea of how long it's going to take to get through the pit stop window, about 28 seconds. And this is a big chance for the guy we're watching right now, Adrian Yalpi, to pull some points back. They've been waiting for a chance. They've been waiting for him to slip up. Mad Racer 38. And maybe today could be the day. He sits in 4th, but 3 of those guys have already pitted.
Glad TDI Zulz is there, though. That's
yeah,
all I'm
he's
going to say.
hanging in there. And if anything, he needs to start thinking about making a pit stop. Oh, he throws it in the fence.
Oh.
And he leaves himself vulnerable to Semper, who pulls out of the move. These are the guys who have claimed the 3 pole positions between them so far. Anyone pitting? Yes. TDI Zulz comes in. So too XE Mr. Bucket.
Just doesn't want to deal with that. That's fair enough.
Yeah, there's a bit going on there, so there's a bit to be said about clean air. So the battle here is get out ahead of those guys who've already pitted. And a chance to maybe even just take a bit of a breather. We think it's about 50 seconds to get in and out of the pits.
It's their longest one yet, I think.
Yeah, but what we could see earlier was
it's quite a long pit lane, yeah.
Yeah, right, it goes pretty much the whole front straight. So these are the guys that we've got now on track, and this is the battle between the guys coming out of the pits and these guys that we're watching.
I think Haro 05 was the last one to pit as well, so he's already taken a bit of a lead over Holden, and it looks like Superman in the back here.
So the other guys are still exiting the pits. So Haro 5 is about to swing past the pit entrance now, and this will be pretty close to the pit exit. They've all been warned about keeping the car over to the right-hand side when they're coming out of the pits. There's a big talking point. You can see the track map. They're about to catch him at speed. Can TDI Zulz get out ahead of these guys? Had a bit of a messy in-lap, and this is the answer. It's close. It's almost a repeat of what happened on the opening lap down here. Now, I think he owes him one here, Simona, for what happened
at
turn 1.
That's what they told me when I got to Supercars. You have to pay back, always. So maybe it's going to happen, who knows?
So Haro 5's got the jump on him. And how about that? All these cars on shot have had their pit stop, and they're that close after the first couple laps. We've got 2 packs at the moment, those who have pitted and those who haven't.
So I guess a quote-unquote acceptable level of contact there before. I don't know, would you say, if you're in a regular race, Simona, would you say that was unacceptable? Like,
you've been pinged for less.
Yeah, I've been pinged for a lot of things, so I'm the wrong person to ask that, to be honest, because I think I was labeled the dirtiest driver for a little bit last year. So yeah, no, I don't know. I'm not getting into this. I am not talking about this. Okay,
Yeah, they say in supercars you've got to be up to the B pillar, so up to the passenger's side, well,
yes,
either side
exactly.
there, but passenger side door, essentially.
Okay, so I'm going to take from that probably wasn't an acceptable amount of contact there.
But I think they've kind of swallowed the whistle, to use a football reference in this championship so far. So they might get away with it. Let's see what they're like at the pit exit here. No one coming out this lap. So it's still, at this stage, Haro 5 leading this battle pack. And on the other side of the circuit, Ultimate Age 05. And these two are pretty good buddies. They race each other pretty much every week.
I think they're in a pack with Mad Racer Sempers in there. I think Mr. Bucket's part of that crew as well. So about 5 of our top 8 consistently race together, which is great to see. I'd like to see TDI Zulz now. I mean, he's 34. He's in the timber industry. This guy's a legend who picked up, you know, he's on a sim. And I think he's the only one. I think that the feeling here is that he's one of the only ones on a sim.
Yeah, he's also the oldest out there as well.
Yeah.
34 years of age, and some of these guys are just 20. So,
and what is timber industry? Like I know, like
well, it's big in
woodwork.
Tassie. Yeah, no. Tassie's famous for its high production timber.
Okay.
Yeah, so pretty much massive industry down there in Tassie. He's from Ranelagh, which is southwest of Hobart. So he is as south gets in this country.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
that's right down the bottom. Okay. And he's under pretty big pressure right now from Holden 96, who picked up a podium last week. And he's about to start pouring the pressure on here. Holden 96, 22 years of age from Adelaide, and he's got a really good run.
A much better performance last week. Looking to take over TDI Zulz, who's sitting in that 5th position. Haro 05 is the highest of the players who have already pitted. We're looking to see that top position from Ultimate Age 05. See when he pits. See if it's towards those later laps. Lap 5 at the moment here. As we're coming around the corner.
Back down into the fountain section. So, hypothetically, could you end up in the fountain or it's got concrete?
Well, yeah, you know, it's funny. The first time I actually got there, technically you could. You know, if you actually have a brake issue or whatever, you could end up on top of the dolphin that is on the, on the fountain there. There's actually a dolphin in the middle of it.
So the first time you do track walk, you must absolutely spin out at this place because it's totally different.
Yeah, it's quite cool. I think it was also one of the first street courses that I ever did, and then it's also like because Formula 1 raced there. I remember going there with my dad the first time I drove Formula Atlantics there, and he was just really excited. You know, Clay Regazzoni raced there, and you know all the it's one of those tracks where it's part of a bit of history and stuff like that. So it's just really cool to be there, and to race there. So, but I think the old track used to go even a bit longer and used to go up a couple of roads and things like that. So it's awesome. Yeah,
the original F1 track was quite long actually, and they raced there for quite a few years with the US Grand Prix back in I think like 75, 76 was the first time they had it.
So do they, when this is not being used, does it just go back to being
absolutely,
an absolute road?
Yep. So you'd be able to drive this circuit any day of the year as long as...
But probably just not drive under the fountain,
yeah, exactly. A lot slower than what they'd be doing in an Indy car.
Exactly. But it's cool, like you see like some of the curbs stay, you know, like the one from the last corner stays there. So you see it, and especially after the race when they're like taking the track apart, you still see like the marks, the tire marks on the road and stuff like that. So it's really cool, I think. There
are still permanent curbs from the long circuit of Gold Coast Indy, which you can see.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Such a cool piece of history around that place. Be cool to see IndyCar come back to Australia. How's everyone working the fence? Running the boards. Coming out of the back part of the circuit. That's turn 8. Coming onto the back straight, which runs you all the way down to here. Simona's favourite corner.
Yes, I don't.
So where did you end up in the tyres?
In the tire, yeah, and I don't know. I was like, there's this like brake marker, and there's like this one patch on the ground that you see, and that's your brake mark. And I was following a car, and I think it was 2007, first year there, and somehow I was so focused, I think, on the car in front that I really missed that patch where I was supposed to brake, and then I invented another patch.
Yeah.
And then it was way too late. So that's what happened.
Are brake markers feet or yards in America? Because you get such giant brake markings, 200, 400. Like you never see that here.
No, I don't even know what I think you just pick something. You know what I mean? So it doesn't.
Then
it's
number
not
doesn't
like
really
this.
matter.
I'm not calculating. Oh, I'll be like 20 meters out.
Yeah. I always wondered the first time you saw a board here, you must be 100. Oh my God, I'm so close to the corner.
No, it's pretty similar, I think. Yeah.
So just waiting for the second round of pit stops to start, which is when it's going to, well, first round of pit stops for the guys who haven't pitted yet. I mean, it's only a one-stop race.
Yeah, how many more cars have to pit, actually?
I think the three.
Top three, yeah.
Top three. Ultimate Age 05, 1.4 seconds clear of Semper, 2 seconds clear of Mad Racer 38. Now, if their lap times are clean at the moment, they may actually, all three of them, come out ahead of this pack. So maybe he can keep that streak of 6 podiums going and make it 7 this week, Mad Racer 38.
Well, hasn't fallen below second, so you'd have to hope so. Not breaking any trends now, but it's Ultimate Age 05. I feel like this race we're going to have to watch out for, especially with TD Isles coming up with Haro 05. The top two who have pitted at the moment. And TD Isles, this is good. He's maintained position. Now, coming into this, Simona thought we're being negative, but we're being realistic.
No,
we're cheering for him.
You know, yeah, but you know, you put pressure on him, like, you know,
well, I just hope he's not listening, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But they're all running like super close together. Like it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, we had 50 seconds as our pit stop time. The distance between first and this pack is now 51 seconds.
Getting close.
So that's going to be pretty close at the re-entry. Got to keep it clean though. Still a long way to go. 4 laps to go. And we've seen sometimes that lead pack has taken it all the way to the very last lap that you can stop, which is the second last lap. So lap 12 is pretty much when that pit stop window closes.
So we found out you can't do it on the final lap. Just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, doesn't quite work.
Yeah.
So when I play video games, I spin out a lot, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of
we
like
saw that at Bathurst last
exactly.
year. But that was tough. You got better across the stint, I think.
Yeah, but you know, like, I don't know.
What did they play? Did they play with the same settings at Bathurst last year, or?
I don't know, but it was really hard. I think I was starting to go to drive. I tried to do a start, and nobody told me that, you know, it was just...
I'd just smoke it.
Yeah, I was just like, I was standing still, and everybody was like, really, like, what is going on right now?
This game is insane because with all of the assists off, with traction control off, with assisted brakes, there's actually so much room, especially in a course like this. That's why I thought it was going to be messy at the start, because if you're going too fast, if you're hitting those corners too hard, you're going to run into pretty much everyone. So there's props again to our players.
It's clean at the moment, not too far away from this last round of pit stops. Ultimate Age 05, the leader, but is he going to be in the lead at the end of the first round of pit stops?
For centuries, scientists have scanned the skies, contemplating New Zealand's long white cloud, the origins of which have remained a mystery until now.
It's burnout time.
The Gibbs and his Kiwi cousins won't be holding back in front of their home fans at the penultimate stop on the 2018 calendar. The ITM Auckland Super Sprint, live on Fox Sports.
Boost Mobile. Data hungry? Get up to 30 gigs with every recharge, plus unlimited calls and texts. Now with data rollover, all on Australia's biggest mobile network. Boost Mobile.
Game like the pros, now at Harvey Norman, your home of the great gaming deals. We have the best brands at the best prices, like Predator, Republic of Gamers, Omen, MSI. Hurry in for Predator desktops from only $26.98, Predator laptops from only $24.96, ROG laptops from only $22.96, and MSI laptops from only $18.97. Game like the pros, now at Harvey Norman, in store and online.
Go! Boost Mobile. Data hungry? Get up to 30 gigs with every recharge, plus unlimited calls and texts. Now with data rollover, all on Australia's biggest mobile network. Boost Mobile.
Hey Scotty, who should I choose as New Zealand's new favourite driver?
It has to be someone fast, Murph.
It's nail biting time. Here comes McLaughlin down the inside. Oh, the grass, very close.
Stay loyal to the Holdens, Murph.
If you're going to pick up a victory, this is the place to do it. The Shane Van Gisbergen.
Let's set the Kiwi race fans aside when the boys are back at Pukekohe.
The ITM Auckland Super Sprint, November 2 to 4. Book now at Ticketek and get your heart racing.
It's going to be a big weekend in New Zealand for the ITM Auckland Super Sprint, but tonight it's the Boost Mobile Supercars E-Series, and the action is absolutely on as TDI Zulz pours the pressure onto Haro 5, so we've got a bit of a race on our hands now.
Bit of breath of fresh air, hopefully, for TDI Zulz. Talking about it all race, but Haro 05 has to maintain position. Our top three still have not pitted. It's lap 11 of 13, so running out of time, it's now or never.
And as far as we're concerned, he still owes him one for what happened at lap 1. So maybe some payback to come late in the race. It's been exciting so far. We're riding on board with Holden 96. Waiting for the last round of pit stops. No sign yet of a pit stop from Ultimate Age 05, your race leader. Where will he come out in comparison to this battle pack? Because now they're actually starting to cost each other a little bit of time.
Haven't seen the front of the pack, actually. I think we've been sticking with 4th and 5th. It looks like finally
Stops
we
are
see
on.
a pit, though.
There you go.
So your race leader's in the lane right now.
I think 2 are, actually.
He dragged someone in with him.
Mad Racer Ultimate Age, Semper.
So Semper will be pitting on the last lap then, unless he's in the lane right now. Making his way back out. I think that tiny little battle that we saw then, Simona, might just be enough for Ultimate Age 05 to get out of the pits ahead.
Maybe.
So Semper will have to pit next lap. He's picked
So
up.
is that the last? So do you have to do a full lap after the pit stop?
after your pit stop. So the beginning of the last lap is
Okay.
essentially your last chance to pit, so the end of lap 12. So these guys have made their way back in, and we're about to see where the rejoin is any moment now. Now's his chance to go. Has to stay left of that blue line. Oh, he's got this
they're
clear.
right.
If anything, the battle will be between Mad Racer 38 and these guys down at turn 1. He gets dropped right in behind Holden 96. So TDI Zul's at the moment still on for his first podium, potentially. Just depends now where Semper comes back out into the pack.
TDI Zul's forward, still in that 4th position. So Semper, he's done this before, held that 1st position, waited to pit. He's actually gone in now by the looks of things on the screen up there. So Semper takes pit on lap 12, or maybe he's on the final lap.
Yeah, this will be the beginning of the final lap.
Makes sense.
So a good chance to make it. Clear strategy, run all the way to the end, pit on the last possible lap in the window. And how close is this? After 20 minutes of racing, the entire pack will be pretty much back together as they were before the stops.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, for sure.
We've got 8 people who are that even at this game over the course of 13 laps.
Big difference from the past couple of weeks there, Chad.
Yeah.
Past couple of weeks, we've seen leaps and bounds from people like Semper and, you know,
The
our
gaps
top
are
4.
huge in the first week,
Oh,
weren't
yeah.
they?
Especially on
getting
Bathurst as
better.
well. I
Yeah.
think we defined it pretty simply, but this seems to be different, so I'm hoping the American leg gives us a bit more exciting.
Oh, Hot
Exciting
96. Absolutely just rammed the back of TDI Zul's, and they both cost each other a little bit of time. So where do they come out in comparison to Semper, who has to pit this lap? He'll be in the lane now, surely. He'll be working his way down to the pit exit. Here he is. It'll be close. It'll be very close between Ultimate Age 05, who has to try and dive down the inside. He throws it off. He's gone on the last lap at turn 1.
Oh, that's going to cost him huge. He's going to fall all the way back.
Oh.
Bucket takes him over.
No.
He's in the 7th position now.
No.
But good news story, TDI Zul's 3rd.
It
All
gives,
right,
it gives him his
that's
podium.
what matters.
Can he hold on for it? How was the desperation
Oh,
under
no,
brakes?
that was. He tried to find the imaginary brake mark as well.
Yeah. He went sailing past anything that he'd braked at until that point. He's dropped all the way down to last. So the lead fight is now on camera. Semper versus Haro 5. He's got a pretty good gap. And 3rd place, potentially, for TDI Zul's your pole sitter. That was about as tight as it gets down there at turn 1.
That was so unfortunate.
Oh, we're heading on the last lap, but I'm pretty sure they were
That's
they're
all
locked in. Positions were pretty much locked in.
Okay.
Here it is.
No,
We got it.
Oh,
We're back.
Yeah, we're here.
We got nervous, but we're back. Last couple of corners. Haro 5. Can you get him at the hairpin? It's his last chance here, Simona. Big dive bomb.
It's high risk, I would say. On the outside.
Oh, he's setting up the switchback.
Yeah, maybe.
Try and get that power down. Semper lights up the
Oh.
rears. They both do.
Ooh.
Oh, he hit the lid. He's going to get him. He tries to cover him to the
Yes.
fence. And they nearly make contact. That was the battle for 3rd, I think. So maybe that was TDI Zul's getting picked off.
Oh, no.
Further back
it
in the
was.
pack.
Oh, no.
Oh, he got him on the
no.
line. He did get him. He tried to squeeze him over towards the fence, but it didn't quite work.
Oh, no.
And maybe it kind of dulled down in the middle, but that was the best finish we've seen to a race so far.
I think it was the closest finish we've
Yeah.
seen so far. I want to ignore TDI Zul's for a second because that was a DNF.
Oh,
So that was unfortunate, especially when Ultimate Age falls all the way back.
yeah.
It's
That was his chance to
That
get
was-
some points back.
That was a heartbreaker of a race, if anything, by the end.
We'll bring you those results as soon as they're official, but man, that was pretty close stuff. Awesome battle at that. We almost knew exactly where it was all going to be at that pit exit. How about that move on the last lap from Ultimate Age 05? He threw it all on the line.
Yeah, that was interesting. Well, yeah, but you have to go for it or no. So it's always tricky. But yeah, kind of maybe could have waited a little bit longer, you know. But just
Yeah, tried to get him while he was vulnerable maybe, and it didn't quite pay off for him. Good to see some speed out of TD Azul, even if he didn't quite get the podium. We'll wait for those official results to come through.
It's a change of pace, and remember, it's reverse grid next again, so he will start first, I believe.
Ultimately, yeah, well.
Okay.
So did he drop? What happened? Did he drop all the way down?
I thought you were asking me. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Hopefully we can see.
All right, let's go for some race highlights and see if we can unpick everything that just happened. It started with this battle down here at turn 1, and there was controversy right from the beginning. Definitely the most aggression we've seen from a race yet. I guess street circuits bring out the best in everyone, but that was Haro 5 coming from downtown LA to try and make the move stick, and it didn't quite work. And he fell all the way back to about 5th. Everyone avoided the fountain. There was the change for the lead. So let's check it out from a bit further back in the pack. This is from Superman's view.
I think for Superman, struggling in the back of the race, this will also give us good perspective, or not. We'll look at Ultimate Age. Why not? So, Simona, I've got another question. Remember, I'm a very curious person. How do you see the representation of, game versus reality? Do you see tactics from some of our players here that were very similar to something you would do, or was it very different?
Well, the line,
Apart from the big early start, the aggressive start.
Exactly, that would be me. No, it's. Well, I think what's cool is the lines and stuff like that they take. It's exactly what we would do in supercars. So that's cool to see. Strategy-wise, I think it might be a little bit different. Because we have a lot of tire degradation going on throughout the race and things like
Here's
that.
the move.
Exactly. Yeah. So he was.
He knew he was gone.
He was gone. Yeah.
He did a pretty good job to turn it around.
He did. He was like, we're on it. Oh, that's what.
So this is the battle all the way to the end. Apparently, word on the street is he disconnected.
No, he disappeared.
No. He disappeared. That's why we can't see him.
I was wondering, how do you get a DNF?
Exactly.
We haven't had one yet.
No.
He's our first DNF.
He literally, physically, the word was disconnected.
So it must have been just...
What's
the worst time.
It's like a mechanical...
It's he lost a tire or what?
He
lost a wheel.
He lost all 4 tires.
All 4, just the
his whole car disappeared, and that's why he's down.
No.
How sad is that? Oh, the poor guy. Tasmanian internet needs to pick its socks up.
That was his top 3 as well.
That is heartbreaking. He's fighting for 3rd, and he will go home empty-handed. And either that or he rage quit.
I don't think you rage quit at your first
he's getting
podium.
his best result, so I'd be surprised. How about Ultimate Age 05 clawed back to 6 as a result? That's pretty impressive. Mad Racer 38 gets a massive get-out-of-jail-free card. He was going to finish 6th as a result of what happened on the last lap. He finishes 4th. When you're having a good year, I guess you're having a good year. And the gap at the top, just 0.5 of a second, which actually makes it our 3rd closest race, believe it or not. Because we had already Bathurst and Catalunya separated by just 0.3 of a second. So Holden 96 gets his 2nd podium. Semper takes his 3rd win of the year. Haro 5 on the podium again. But the big heartbreaking story has to be TD Azul's a DNF. And maybe the Tasmanian internet has let him down.
Yeah, maybe.
We're talking about how far
cable, and Harvey Norman, or a new TV now because he's upset.
Oh, man.
Unfortunate.
So nothing like a bit of controversy, but a quick trip to Harvey Norman.
Exactly, get new
Hobart will fix him up, baby.
That's probably going to cost him for the week, to be quite honest. The Superman, I think, finished in 6th or 7th, so he'll be climbing up. The person I want to talk about is Mad Racer, because Mad Racer, for the first time ever, hasn't finished 1st, hasn't finished 2nd, all the way down to 4th.
That's what you said in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
We've cursed 2 guys tonight.
2 guys today.
Yeah, we've done pretty good at that. So he loses a bunch of points to the guys at the top. So Semper may even pop up into 2nd in the championship as a result. It will set the grid, though, for race 2. Remember, it's reverse grid. So TD Azul's will get to go off the pole again.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
He'll
we haven't had DNF yet.
Yeah,
if he can connect again.
If he can connect, otherwise we'll just have the 7 races, and I think Superman will bucket down there.
Yeah, that's unlucky. It'll also mean that Ultimate Age 05, who's one of the best that we've got on the field, should be going off row 2 by my maths after finishing 6th, and it'll put Mad Racer 38 mid-pack, and obviously he's one of the real form guys in the championship. So it'll definitely roll out on the points scenario. Should have that championship gap shrunk, but it was, 30 points coming into this race.
Something like that, yeah. And 1st position will still be held by Mad Racer, of course, just because he finished in top 5, I think, from my calculations. It's a lie, I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
But Semper will
That was a
climb
good
back
guess.
up. I mean, Semper was, I've got a magic bit of paper here as well. Semper was on 74, Mad Racer on 108, so with 20 points for that first position, that'll climb all the way up to 94. So I'm excited to see what happens in the second race.
All right, while we're queuing the points up, why don't we check out some highlights of the last event of the Virgin Australia Supercars Championship. This was race 26, sunnier times on the Gold Coast. Simona, this was a really exciting race. We had Craig Lowndes starting down the back of the grid up against the co-drivers. You were pretty much watching from the garage at that point with Alex Rouleau. What's it like when you pretty much watch your co-driver out there?
It's really weird because you're just kind of waiting there. Usually you're in the race. You're doing the calls and stuff like that.
Oh.
And yeah, big
Our friend
shot
Will Brown?
there. Yeah, big
Yeah.
shot
Oh, that's
there,
right.
so-
We had him on the desk last week. He was in your chair.
Oh, really?
I asked him about this because it looked terrifying.
Yeah, it does.
Oncoming traffic.
Yeah, everything. That was no good. No good at all. But
It
yeah.
It kicked off all this chaos because this happened, bang,
Yeah.
coming out of pit lane. So that was a drive-through penalty for car 1, one of our championship contenders. And then this one, bang, nearly.
Another one, yeah.
Car 97 got a drive-through for that as well.
Well, but it's funny. Like, so Earl, right, got a, and I think it's because we're European or other racing, they kind of send you and you can still run. But here in supercars, they have this rule about being in the lane and stuff like that. So I also got caught with that last year once. So it's just a little bit different, something you kind of have to learn. And it's I think it was just really tight in there, having to double stack and stuff like that. So
Yeah, particularly that pit lane as well, being the Gold Coast. It's very, very tight. Pretty cool battle late in the race with Lowndesy picking his way back through the pack to finish on the podium. Good battle with James Courtney and Dave Reynolds. But it was all about these guys.
Yeah,
Chaz Mostert.
Chaz.
He's one of the most lovable guys in the pits. So too James Moffat, actually. So a great result for Tickford, a team that you have actually, well, it's pretty much where you made your start.
Yes.
Your
pretty
first
much,
ever
yeah,
race.
First ever race with them,
Tickford.
Exactly. Yeah, but they were hooked up during the weekend, to be honest. I think they as a team struggled a little bit in general this year, but somehow at Gold Coast they're really good, really strong. And Chaz is always really strong there, so yeah, it's cool to see him win, I guess. Yeah.
Like we mentioned, the next round of the championship for us is over to New Zealand for Auckland. Fast, bumpy, really a lot of character in this circuit. How did you go there in your first sort of attempt?
Yeah, it was good. It was one of the better tracks, I would say. We were really quick in the last sector and stuff like that. I think first sector is where I struggled a little bit more, so that's something I'm really going to have to work on this weekend. But look forward to it. It's a cool place, cool track to drive at.
All right, we've crunched the numbers. We're ready to show you the point score after race 7 in the championship, and up to 94 points, like you mentioned, goes Semper. So he has sliced into that lead a little bit. Haro 5 jumps to 3rd, Ultimate Age 05 sitting in 4th, and poor TDI Zulz.
Oh, it's so tragic,
That could have seen him jump to 7th as well, get off the bottom of the order.
So he got 2 points, right? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
You still get 2 points for last.
Gotcha.
But in comparison, I think it was 16 points he would have gotten.
Yeah, that would have been way better.
He would have taken over Superman indefinitely and be well on his way up that ladder. So unfortunate. Again, reverse grid. Please get a first or a second. Climb your way back up. TDI Zulz showcased some of his talents that game, and there's potential for him to continue up that ladder for next week, especially.
Simone, you were saying to us earlier, watching this makes you just want to actually have a crack at it. And the good news is tomorrow night you can do that. It's the Cup Series. If you want to be a part of the action, head over to Harvey Norman, pick up an Xbox, maybe even an LG gaming screen.
There you go.
Get yourself Forza Motorsport 7, and you can be a part of the action. Cup Series round 3 tomorrow, and it's these tracks. So you got any tips for anyone who wants to have their first crack at Long Beach?
I think Long Beach is tricky to start off because you'll be kind of thrown into the deep end. But it's a cool place, and I don't know. Video games, you gotta try it, keep driving, and you get better at it. Like same thing for me, even in the real car. The more I drive, the better I get. So more you play.
Long Beach is the best one. If you ask me, the best one to, like, from a video game perspective, it's the best one to start with because you kind of filter out the people that have got a talent, have practiced it as well. And although, yes, it is very casual, and $150 is still a lot of money to take to Harvey Norman. That's your next Forza game.
Yeah, we'll pick that up.
And especially since people can register each and every week, so they can keep going in, they can keep trying to win that prize. Yeah,
so check it out tomorrow night. It's the E-Series or the Cup Series that'll be live tomorrow night. Now, let's switch our attention to Lime Rock, which is race number 2. And we're up in the far northeast corner of the US of A. Really cool track, this one. Fast, flowing, lots of big hills. And would be quite interesting to see how Supercar go around here. And like you mentioned...
Yeah, that's the jump right there.
Yeah, that's
what you
it.
see. Exactly.
It's very Codwell Park, actually. Will we see them get airborne over that?
Yeah, it would be cool.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, maybe.
So only 7 turns, but all of them very, very fast. Yeah, that reminds me of the last corner at Wanneroo when you sort of dive down the hill, late sort of braking because it's an uphill entrance. Pit entries over to the right-hand side. So that's what we're looking forward to tonight. Let's take an onboard. How long ago was it that you raced at Lime Rock?
Long, I think
10, 12 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, 2006. So,
wow,
yeah,
okay.
long time.
So we're going back a while, but let's see what Simona can remember. Big, long right-hander
big long,
to start
so
off
like
with.
a bit of a double apex. You can carry quite a lot of speed. This one is a bit tricky as well. It's a bit also late apex. And then here it starts then going a bit up the hill then. And we're going to come towards the jump, I would say.
So this is turn 5 up here.
So carry tons of speed here. It's cool. It's fast flow, and there's the jump. Yeah, so we get normally, well, I don't know, for we got a bit of air.
Getting a 1,500 kilo supercar off the ground a bit harder.
So pretty much all the corners are really quick, a lot of flow to it, and really got to carry the speed. So in the supercar, it's going to be quite a lot of fun to drive, I think.
Nicely done, Simona. Turn 7, you get that run onto the front straight, big long front straight, and that run up towards the checkered flag with the pit entrance on the right-hand side. 7 turns, 2.41 kilometres, and that's how they'll line up. So for the second time tonight, TDI Zils will go off the pole. Hopefully he'll have a little bit better luck in this race and score some points. But watch out for Ultimate Age 05. Hungry for his first victory in the series, quite clearly after what we just saw in race 7.
Oh, after what just happened, Ultimate Age needs revenge. TDI Zil needs revenge. He deserved that 3rd position. His first ever podium denied by Tasmanian internet. I don't know what's going on down there.
We're speculating here, but... It seems,
I don't know. What is
I mean, he literally just disappeared, so it has to be a disconnect.
Has to be that.
It might be storming down there, might be in a power out, but he's back. At least he's back by the looks of it.
Hopefully, and ready to go. Hey, watch out for Semper. He starts last, but he's won both of the reverse grid races so far. We're off and running.
There you go.
And I can't see him, which makes me nervous.
No, TDI's all actually in the back. Okay.
So he's going to have it all to do off the back of the grid. So the poor guy not getting the advantage of starting off the front must be because of the DNF. It's dropped him all the way to last. So Superman now. We haven't talked too much about this guy because we didn't see him in the original Harvey Norman Supercars Challenge. So actually ditto that XE Mr. Bucket here, Jake. So we might have a different winner tonight, someone that we've not seen before in the series as we head up to the jump.
Now, not too much of a jump there. It looks like they just got to enter, but...
Not quite World Rally Championship spec, but exciting. Oh no, Superman runs it
wide. He's gone wide.
The
Ultimate Age almost joins him as well. Bucket will take the lead there. He does rejoin.
Oh no,
he doesn't.
He's still out there.
Oh,
he never got back onto the circuit. He'll drop all the way to last.
Oh no.
So Grass is slippery there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pitting.
He'll make the pit stop. And he's not the only one. We've got XE Mr. Bucket in as well as potentially TDI Zils.
I think it was Haro F5 who might have joined him
well, he's pitted pretty much lap 1 every race so far, so that would make sense. Oh, what a shame. That was absolutely his chance to cash in for a podium. So how did this one happen, Simona? It looked like he dropped maybe 2 wheels off and it just sucked him out there.
Yeah, well, that's what usually happens, when you're out there. It's quite hard because you keep your foot in it and keep on the gas, but then if you don't come back onto the
I love the commitment.
He's committed. And now he must be thinking, okay, let me go into the pits now, like I'm already there. So
it's like he's being too gentlemanly trying to get back onto the track without hitting anyone.
Maybe.
Should have just thrown it back on there. How's the battle for the lead up the road?
Yeah, look how fast it is. Yeah, some people dropping wheels. It's just really quick place. So just it's kind of like carrying a lot of speed. Yeah, it's
like
cool.
an oval, but with left-handers and right-handers out there. So the battle for the lead.
But there's one left-hander.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 6 rights, 1 left. Ultimate Age 05, your race leader. So similar suspects now at the top. Mad Racer 38 ducks in behind him. Typically, it's been the other way around between these two this season.
Ultimate Age 05's always been the one trailing him. Mad Racer, his first non-podium game coming up for our first racer today, which is a bit of a surprise, finishing in 4th. Still, I was hopeful because, of course, me being kind of on the outside of racing, I was hopeful to see the jump.
Yeah, me too. I'm a bit disappointed right now, to be honest.
We'll have to check. We're racing the Nürburgring GP circuit next week. Maybe we can change it to the full circuit
there
if you want jumps. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a long play. Like that'd be actually hard to remember, It
took me ages to memorize that place.
I know, right? Every time you play, I would say I've never gone on real life there, but yeah, that was cool.
Fight for the leaders on here. Ultimate Age 05 ran it wide. Mad Racer 38 couldn't quite take advantage. A lot of people head over to the Nürburgring to do just general track days and run around there in street cars because it's just an incredible place to drive.
Yeah, but it's open track, so like you will have everything on there.
Bikes to BMWs.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
wow.
Complete madness. If you just YouTube Nürburgring sort of anything, you'll see 28-minute videos of dudes tearing up sort of Mercedes-Benz. So we go across the top once again with this lead battle pack. Mad Racer 38's got the speed here. Does he think about potentially pitting? Because he's starting to lose time.
You'd have to think so. No.
Right, we'll go back past the pit entrance once again. What a year it's been for this guy already, from Newborough out of Melbourne's eastern suburbs. So strong in the opening
really
2 weeks.
Turn 1, like into turn 1.
His mid-corner speed's good. Semper, your race 7 winner, is apparently in pit lane. So we're about to see that pit stop battle break out between the guys who pitted on lap 1 and Semper, who's in now.
Love to see wet weather around here.
I know, are you going to get a wet weather race?
Well, because from my, and hold me to this, right? From what I've seen of especially Forza, the esport, I've seen a lot of Nürburgring in the wet.
Yes.
And that seems to be very trying. So
yeah, that's about as crazy as it gets.
I think we're all in sunshine for the duration of the race, more about the consistency.
He's got potentially a chance to get through here. Got to run in, not quite. Mad Racer 38. Still sitting there in second.
Going for it.
Oh, this is his chance. He's wide, just pulls out of it. There's half a chance to sneak through. It kind of sucks you in that corner. It's a bit of a double apex.
Yeah, exactly. So you think...
Maybe they're running wide, but that's sort of the racing line through there. See, it is a bit like turn 1 at Perth, a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, actually really similar.
Yeah. Up towards the top of the hill. Turn 5. There's just no big braking zones until you get to the last corner, so it's kind of tough really anywhere. Turns 1 and 7, really the only spots you can make a move stick. This is the run out of turn 6. At what point is he got to be thinking about coming into the pits? How much longer does he want to look at the back of number 2? Ultimate Age 05, he's close. Still, yeah, not close enough, Hysterics.
16 laps to go. Sorry, 13, sorry. Hang on, what did I say? 15, there we go.
So he's going to, this time, get to the inside. He watched him make that line about 3 or 4 attempts. And
but he's going to be not have the outside.
Aggressive.
He's just about got it made, and he's through. No. So Ultimate Age 05 hangs on. This is good racing. A real staring contest between these two at the moment. He could pit, but that would sort of take the fun out of it right now.
Wouldn't want that. Ultimate Age Mad Racer going at it. And I think Holden and Mr. Bucket, other two that haven't pitted right now. Bottom 5, Haro, Zulz, Semper, Superman, all of them. What's happening again?
That was a big slide. Semper came out in 7th after his pit stop, so didn't gain too much at all out of that. Haro 5 still first of those to have pitted. This camera angle keeps sucking me in. I keep thinking that it's someone making
Mad
Racer.
Exactly the same,
because we see that exact angle in our supercars for real when someone makes that pass. Not as close this time down to turn 1, but that was his chance, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it. But it's still a long time to go, so...
Back to this pack of drivers who have pitted, and, wow, have a look at this. 3-car scrap.
Semper, Zulz, Haro 05 leading the charge. I've seen wiggles around every corner today.
Yeah, this place is pretty loose. It's pretty flat out. Down into turn 1. Now, we haven't seen too many people pit in the midsection of the race. It's always been at the beginning or the end. So it might settle into a bit of a pattern here, just like the last race did. But it just seems closer than the last race. Looking forward to seeing where the front two come out in comparison to this battle pack. Semper's got the speed, but it's a tough place to pass.
Instead in reverse grid, Semper finishes in that first position. Well, it's going to be a tough one to come through. Semper's in 7th right now, relying on that top 4 to pit and see where he can take over. But Haro 05, he's leading the charge of this little group right here. And TDI Zulz trying to catch up.
Got it.
But Semper, yep.
Wide at turn 6 for TDI Zulz. Semper will take that invitation. It was actually turn 7, and he makes it stick down here at turn 1. So, change for position. We nearly opened the door at turn 1 and gave it back to him. TDI Zulz drops back for the moment. Can Semper win 3 out of 3 reverse grid races?
Difficult what position? Let's see. Harrow 5 right now is sitting, where are we looking? Sitting in that 4th to 3rd position from what we saw in the other race.
Yeah, it's hard to see where he's going to pop out here. Depends what their speed's like in comparison to the guys who haven't pitted yet. Semper looks like he's got a bit of speed in that thing. Just waiting for a new camera angle to pop up, which, as we change across to the different
Got TDI
Xbox
Zul's
sets that we've
internet
got.
there for a second, unfortunately. Oh, actually, Harrow 5, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
I think he's disconnected. He's got a DNF.
What is happening tonight?
I do not know.
We didn't have one in the first 6 races.
We did not. They don't live nearby either. I think one's in Tasmania and
man.
Harrow's in the Gambie.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't know where that is.
Gambie is about I think it's about 90 minutes north of Melbourne.
Oh, okay.
I think it's up near sort of Winton.
And we just
Oh.
we got a confirmation as well. So Harrow 5, Jacob Harvey has unfortunately disconnected. So that's our 2nd disconnect tonight.
Jeez, we are copping it tonight, and he was our pre-season favourite to take out the whole championship. So I guess that's a mechanical DNF. It's the only thing I could probably liken that to in our sort of real-world racing. Sometimes you can be in a pretty good spot and bang, something goes crashing out. I've had a couple like that this year. I remember a Super 2 race where Macaulay Jones was on for a race win and broke a shock absorber. Happened to him on both Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was pretty heartbreaking stuff. So Harrow 5 will be fuming after that one.
Definitely will be. Maybe just didn't like Lime Rock Park. Just
Too
wanted
quick.
to get out of it early, prep for Watkins Glen next.
Yeah, Watkins Glen coming up next. An absolute favourite and definitely a cool track to watch NASCAR. How will it translate in supercars? Well, we'll find out later. We're halfway home in the 2nd race of the night, the reverse grid race, which is race 8 of 18 this year.
So how do they start race?
Combined points
Oh, okay.
from races 7 and 8. What sets the grid for race 9? So as it stands at the moment, well, we need to sort of wait till we see what the pit stop scenario is, but I have to say if Semper can pop out at the front, he'll be at least off the front row for race 3.
With Harrow out of the race as well, I mean, it's got to feel good for people like Mr. Bucket holding 96 as well. Minimum 7th, someone like TDI Zul's needs to make up that distance on Semper. And if Semper can maintain, I mean, it's a question with everyone right now.
Yeah.
Depending on when these guys pit, that's when we'll get a better understanding of how the rest of the race is going to go.
That is the question. When are they going to make that pit stop? Not too far away from answering that question. Ultimate Age 05, the race leader.
Data hungry? Get up to 30 gigs with every recharge, plus unlimited calls and texts. Now with data rollover, all on Australia's biggest mobile network.
For centuries, scientists have scanned the skies, contemplating New Zealand's long white cloud, the origins of which have remained a mystery until now.
It's burnout time.
The Gids and his Kiwi cousins won't be holding back in front of their home fans at the penultimate stop on the 2018 calendar. The ITM Auckland Super Sprint, live on Fox Sports.
Game like the pros, now at Harvey Norman, your home of the great gaming deals. We have the best brands at the best prices, like Predator, Republic of Gamers, Omen, MSI. Hurry in for Predator desktops from only $26.98, Predator laptops from only $24.96, ROG laptops from only $22.96, and MSI laptops from only $18.97. Game like the pros, now at Harvey Norman, in store and online.
Go!
Hey Scotty, who should I choose as New Zealand's new favourite driver?
It has to be someone fast, Murph.
It's nail-biting time. Here comes McLaughlin down the inside. On the grass, very close.
Stay loyal to the Holdens, Murph.
If you're going to pick up a victory, this is the place to do it for Shane Van Gisbergen.
Let's let the Kiwi race fans decide when the boys are back at Pukekohe.
The ITM Auckland Super Sprint, November 2 to 4. Book now at Ticketek and get your heart racing.
Data hungry? Get up to 30 gigs with every recharge, plus unlimited calls and texts. Now with data rollover, all on Australia's biggest mobile network.
Pit stops are complete at Lime Rock, race number 2 of the night, which is round 3, race 8, and it is tight at the front. So Ultimate Age 05 has come back out in the lead. XC Mr. Bucket on for potentially his first podium, and for the first time in a long time, we've got a genuine breakaway pack. 5 seconds separating these guys from the chasing pack. So, who's going to win it out of these three?
Did he pit?
Yep, snuck it in.
This is a much better performance. We haven't talked about Mr. Bucket whatsoever because he's always been.
He was leading when the pit stops began on lap 1 when Superman ran off.
Yeah.
So a sneaky pit stop on lap 1 and not a bad strategy.
I think we're going to see a different variety of players, or different traits of our top 8 coming through. Because with Mr. Bucket, with Superman, it looks like they have performed better on our American tour. Maybe different maps suit different players.
Yeah.
Sorry,
totally
tracks.
Different. That's right.
Yeah.
Maps is cool with me.
That's good, yeah.
But it's not cool with anyone else.
You can tell you've
We'll
been at
go
PAX
with
on the
maps,
weekend.
yeah.
But totally different circuits are going to bring out totally different results. You're 100% right. And maybe that's why we've not seen Mad Racer 38 quite up there, but it looks like he's got some speed back right now. Just XC Mr. Bucket in the way. Mark Pretty, 20 years of age, out of a place called Vale Park in Adelaide. And he's studying at the moment electrical engineering and IT. And he's got the speed right now.
Yeah,
Being a
he's
supercar.
putting pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, I was impressed by what he's studying.
Yeah, busy boy.
I mean, it kind of works into it. You said engineering.
No, yep.
He's got him here. Turn 7, he'll give him some room on the outside.
Side by side.
Oh,
no.
he's
No.
running off.
Gee, there was just, was there enough room on the outside? They tried to go side by side through turn 7, one of the fastest parts of the track, and that is the move done. So can he reel in the race leader?
Was there any contact at all then?
I think they were trying to give each other the room. It's always been pretty gentlemanly in this series.
Yeah, it is. Like, that's what I'm surprised that nobody really...
Apart from lap 1 of the last race,
Yeah.
there's not been too much contact.
Almost going wide there as well. It's been a pretty dangerous track here. We're on to lap 17. Ultimate Age, one thing has stayed the same. He's been leading the pack, but don't think we've seen him pit just yet.
Yeah, this is about as spread out as they've been since week 1. And it might just be the fact that this is such a high-speed joint and not a typical track that you'd usually game on when you think about it.
I think it's a cool track, though. Like, it's
it's
flowy,
awesome.
You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
here we see if there's a bit of
No, stayed off him.
Yeah.
It's a good recovery.
That is, see, if I play video games and end up there, I am not recovering. Like,
You're in the fence.
Like, I am in the fence.
Spin out.
Yeah.
In the trees. Over the tires. So, yeah, no good.
I'd just be happy to be in second at the time to
There you
even
go.
throw it away.
Oh,
so.
Simona, did you say you? I don't want to keep bringing. Did you crash here? I'm sorry.
No, I didn't.
Like,
you wouldn't want to. The place is quick.
Yeah. I didn't. No, I didn't. That one. No.
because I've seen your videos and I've seen you.
Yeah, thanks for reminding
No.
me. Okay.
I'm sorry. It's just
Thanks,
I saw the fire and Chad showed me, and Chad's like,
It's Chad's
look at
fault.
this.
Yeah, like me. Yeah. Mad Racer 38 with a slip coming out of turn 7.
Been a couple of those so far.
But still, Ultimate Age 05 has built up a lead. So redemption coming for Ultimate Age 05 because he was so close to winning that last race at Long Beach. Just threw it off the escape road, turn 1 on the last lap. But he's got a handy lead for the first time in this championship.
I'm sorry, I saw the fire and I was really...
Let's get back to this, shall we? You wouldn't have a small accident around this place because it's a little bit Nürburgring-ish at spots.
Yeah, it's cool. It's
With
a
the
really
Armco.
cool place. Yeah, for sure.
Excited to see Mr. Bucket in the lead here, though.
So
this is good.
The funny thing is we've got this in Watkins Glen. Watkins Glen's in New York. This is in Connecticut, but this is actually closer to New York City. So when you travel to Lime Rock, do you fly into New York and then NYC and then drive out there?
And drive out there, yeah. You do.
Seriously cool track.
I don't know, it's a while ago, but I think that's what we did. So yeah, it's
Or with a click of a button, you can load it up tomorrow night in the Cup Series.
there you go.
Much shorter
You
travel
don't have to
time.
fly there.
It's a lot easier.
You don't have to drive there.
Your race
Just
leader-
need good internet.
Yeah, which clearly seems to be the problem tonight. Working lap 20 of 22. Probably the most laps out of any track we go to. I'm pretty sure it's the shortest and quickest. Surely the highest average speed out any track would race at in the E-Series. Seriously fast joint. And he is gapping the field here, Adrian Yalpi.
Yeah, it's been I did race with him last year. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I did.
It's ringing a bell now.
That's why, because he's leading, you know. That's my guy. Yeah, he's right there.
You did the first stint last year, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, there was so much strategy going on, and I think we were like all the we were like pretty nervous, and my start was pretty horrendous. That's all I remember.
It took a while to get the hang of.
I should have maybe practiced before, so it just shows practice would have been a bit better, you know. So
the many hours of driving at Bathurst strangely didn't help.
No, it's just
Some telemetry to watch out for. The G-force as you pull up towards turn 05 will be up and down. Quite literally, a negative G-force there for a moment.
See, it's the jump right there.
And then onto the brakes down through turn 6. Last lap coming up next time by. Now, the biggest margin of victory out of any race so far, you've got to go back. Last week we saw 3 seconds at Silverstone, I think it was. Hockenheim, 3.2 seconds, and 3.2 seconds at Spa. So amazingly, the reverse grid race has had similar gaps. Not quite sure how that works, being reverse grid. You'd think it'd be the closer of the three. But again, we're on for a pretty big gap in the reverse grid race.
And the person that's not leading the charge is Semper. Down in that 4th position, this will be his first reverse grid that he's probably not going to win.
Yeah, at least off the podium.
Ultimate age 05.
Dying stages of race 8 in the championship, the 3rd of the reverse grid races. And he has half a lap to go here. Doing a very, very nice job, Adrian Yalpi.
Looks like a good job from Mad Racer as well, who's trying to get back onto the podium. 2nd, he'll keep up the trend. Keep that last race as just a fleeting memory.
He was our quickest qualifier, and he'll break through for his first win, celebrating onto the front straight. The 23-year-old from Sydney, Adrian Yalpi, Ultimate H05, and I think he enjoyed that one. He picks up the win in race 8. And how about this? XE Mr. Bucket, his first podium too. So nice job, exciting racing. And again, a fairly large gap in the reverse grid race. Probably not what we expected, but you have to say, Jake, he was due.
He was finally due for a podium finish. I think a lot of our players down that bottom half are well deserving of it, and this is Mr. Bucket's time. Taking over Semper as well. Yeah. That's a really, really big thing.
Yeah, and that fight for 2nd in the championship's probably going to be pretty close again between those guys, but Haro 5's the big loser out of this. How do you've probably had it happen a few times in your career. You have a mechanical issue. Tonight it's internet.
It's internet, yeah.
It's probably never happened to you on the racetrack before where you've lost connection. But how do you ante up and go again off the back of that, following the big DNF like that one?
Yeah, it's just frustrating, but it's part of racing, and it's not always going to go to plan, and you just there's always another race. That's what you look at, and it's just not you out there. There's just so many things that have to go right in a race car, so it is frustrating, but I think you get over it and get on to the next one, I would say.
So Mad Racer 38 picks up another 2nd place, so he was only out of the top 3 for a very short amount of time.
Oh yeah.
I'm guessing, looking at that, trying to add the sums up in my head, that maybe Semper and Mad Racer 38 will be off the front row coming up later tonight, because they've had a 2nd and a 4th and a 1st and a 4th. TDI Zul's 5th, so a good result there for him.
Oh yeah, such a big improvement. He deserved 3rd last time. Unfortunately, he got the bad end of the stick like Haro 05 did in this one, but finally TDI Zul's finishing in... I'm going to say top 5. I'm going to make a new podium. Top 5 podium. Yeah.
Top 5's a thing.
Podium.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm so
maybe
glad.
not top 5 podium, but top 5's everything. The comments lighting up right now on the Facebook page as well. So I'm following along the stream on Facebook. If you've got any questions for Simona, who's our very special guest tonight, then send him our way. But everyone's cheering for Adrian Yalpi, who's just scored his first win of the 2018 Boost Mobile Supercars E-Series, and that should potentially see him close up that championship battle, because he'll finally get some points back on Mad Racer 38.
Yeah, hoping top 3 here for Adrian Yalpi. He deserved it. He set the fastest qualifying lap for Bathurst at the very start of this E-Series, so I think he was long overdue again. I think a lot of people have been overdue for their first finish.
Yeah, not too bad. So from here, we'll be moving on to our 3rd and final track of the night. That's not too far away, Watkins Glen, and kind of another fast track, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be pretty similar, actually, to this one, just a little bit longer. There's one big braking zone, turn 5, where the bus stop is. So that I think that'll be a really good passing zone there. But yeah, really flowy, and a bit of elevation to it as well. It's quite fun.
Yeah, so not too far away from loading up our 3rd and final race of the night. A reminder, the E-Series is tonight, but tomorrow night it's going to be the Cup. So if you want to be a part of the Cup action, feel free to join the fun tomorrow night, Forza Motorsport 7. If you are looking to head down to Harvey Norman and pick up an Xbox and join the fun tomorrow night, $150 gift voucher for Harvey Norman up for grabs as well. So lots of different ways to be a part of the action.
And I'm pretty sure you can have things like ABS on, traction control on as well. I don't think there's many restrictions that our players have here today. So you can kind of play with some of those backups, and $150 of a Harvey Norman gift card with those backups makes it a little bit easier.
All right, as we did last week, we try and catch up with our race winner of the night. And Adrian Yalpi, have you got us there, buddy? Can you hear us?
G'day, how you going, Neylon?
Not too bad, buddy. Not too bad. We've got Simona on the desk tonight. I think she was pretty impressed with that drive. That was a track where Simona has raced at for a long, long time ago. How did you find it tonight, Lime Rock?
Oh, yeah, it's tough work. You just got to make sure that you're consistent all the time, because if you're not, you really drop back. And as we saw with the some of the cars behind me, even Matt, I think it was Matt and somebody else were having a battle behind me. Yeah,
XE Mr. Bucket.
It was going on for young and old, as Scafey would say. So the consistency had to be right up there in order to win the race, and I put a lot of practice into that.
We've got highlights happening right now of what was a fairly hectic opening lap. Can you talk us through your opening lap? You're sitting there third, fourth, had a pretty good battle with Maddie Bink.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Got a good start, and I think it was Superman who got a bit wide, got up on the grass, and he got out and went very, very wide, and that was very unfortunate for him. And then Bucket decided to pit early. As I was going around, I was having a great battle with Mad Racer. It's funny because he called me as a caravan. Now he was the caravan. He was the other person the other way around.
Yeah, finally you were beating him tonight. We're checking out some of that battle right now, actually. It looked like you had to protect a little bit down into turn one, and he sort of leveled you going through the mid part of the corner.
Oh, I had to protect because, Matthew Bink, he's a really good, hard, aggressive racer. So, yeah, I had to protect and make sure I get there. Finally, I finally got him.
Hey, how do you feel going on to Watkins Glen next? Because less laps, and the guys on the desk were saying it feels similar, but have you put the same amount of preparation into that?
Yes, I have. So we'll see how that goes. So we'll see how it goes. But Mad Racer, Haro 5, Semper, and obviously, all the top. Hey, they're really fantastic. They're right up the top, and anybody can disrupt the race and take the winnings away from you.
Hey, Adrian, we're trying to remember back to last year at Bathurst when we had the Pro-Am. Can you remember who your co-driver was that day?
Yes, that was Simona.
Exactly.
We sorted it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure it was you. So.
It was a great event last year. Yeah, it was pretty good.
I need to practice more. I need to practice more if we go at it again.
Have you got some tips for Simona on the Xbox?
Oh, just be consistent. But I think she would know how to do that.
No. I'm not the expert in it. I'll practice.
You impressed me at Newcastle last year. You did a great job.
Thanks. Thank you.
There you go. You need to channel your inner Simona for this next race coming up at Watkins Glen, buddy, because it's a track that she has been to before. So best of luck for race 9 that's coming up shortly. Thanks for chatting to us.
No problems. Thanks, Neylon. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, mate.
All right, that's Ultimate Age 05 race winner for race 8. And a trip down memory lane for Simona De Silvestro and her amazing cameo last year in the Pro-Am at the Harvey Norman Supercars Challenge. Those two were co-drivers last year, if you're wondering, and pretty handy co-driver to snare, actually, Ultimate Age 05, because clearly he's pretty handy at this.
Yeah, it was... Yeah, well, I did a lap, and then he did a lap, and I was like, well, I'm way off here. Yeah. So yeah, no, it was really good. It was really good.
All right, we're not too far away from queuing up the third and final race of the night, but if you missed our last race of the Virgin Australia Supercars Championship, check this out. It was Gold Coast, and it was classic Gold Coast. Hey, how nice and sunny was it at the beginning of the race, but everyone knew what was coming, unfortunately, Simona, so we didn't quite get that many laps in, but the laps that we did have had plenty of drama.
Yeah, it was quite exciting. We knew it was gonna start raining, pretty soon. So there was a bit of strategy going on, but it was really, really dark out there. I wish that it would have rained, but not that much because it was a bit crazy. But some good passing out there with the co-drivers. I think they really did a really good job. It was really battly out there. And there was the radar. Yeah, that's what we're all looking at and kept talking. Okay, when is it coming? And then we saw Paul, like how slippery it was, and definitely not yeah.
Incredibly, they've had to go to a different chassis for... There's your car.
Yeah, there's my car.
Caught up in that one as well.
It's already messed up as well.
Yeah.
So we
You had something happen elsewhere on the lap.
Yes, exactly.
So was Alex in the car at that
yeah,
time?
Alex was in the car. I think in that race I did literally 200 meters. Because I went in the car and drove to pit exit and it was red flag. So
Really?
like that's all I did.
That was
so.
the longest stint of your life.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
pretty much. So yeah, it was a
It
bit
was-
chaos
oh.
as well in the pits.
Yeah.
And
There would have been so many penalties handed out if this race actually went
Yeah,
back to
for
green
sure.
flag running as well.
but it would have been good. Like it was a bit too bad that there was so much water. But
Yeah.
like it would have been cool if it was just a bit wet because I think it throws a lot of things around and for us drivers also it's a cool challenge and yeah, it's I think it's fun.
But there's wet and then there's that.
That exactly. That's like swimming.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's driving anymore. It's more swimming. See, there's my car, and that's like the 200 meters.
There you go.
You know,
They taped it up for you.
exactly. It was great.
So lightning crashing absolutely everywhere. It was like a big storm in the Midwest come through and all that humidity built up across the weekend. It just bucketed down. I'm checking out the comments right now. Jesse Smith says, I saw you at the Gold Coast, Simona. They reckon you chose wets too early.
Oh yeah, I think we did, but
Yeah.
I don't make that call. So I'm a team who makes that call. So yeah, no, I thought the same. But you know, sometimes you can gamble. We were, you know, running around 18, so there wasn't really much to lose. And if the rain would have come a bit earlier, you can. But yeah, I think we all agree on that. Yes.
Everyone's an expert when it comes to the weather.
Exactly.
Let's check out the points table after race 8 of 18. And Mad Racer 38, obviously at top. And would you believe it, it's gone back to being 30 points, just like that. But now it's tight as it can possibly be, Jake, for second.
Ultimate Age 05 just closed the gap. They're straight up there, equal second. So Semper not getting the strongest finish means that he's got something to fear right now from Ultimate Age 05. Remember, it is a cumulative coming into this third race. So Ultimate Age 05, he could bring out a win again.
Yeah, maybe. He'll have a pretty good starting spot. First in a, sixth earlier, wasn't it, tonight for him?
Something like that, yeah.
So he might be off the second row. Holden 96 will have a pretty good starting position as well. So too XE Mr. Bucket. Haro 5, man, fourth. And that really cost him that DNF. It's a long way back from there.
It did. Fourth
That's his
position.
second 8th of the year. Because he had one at Hockenheim where he had that spin.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Won Silverstone and then spun and finished last in the very next race. So poor Jacob Harvey with some work to do. Not too far away from getting into the action tonight at Watkins Glen. You're watching the 2018 Boost Mobile Supercars E-Series. And this is where we'll be headed for race number 9. And again, a lot of people would love to see Supercars actually race at this place for real because such a historic track. NASCAR obviously very famous running there, and Aussie fans would have seen Marcus Ambrose running there. But IndyCar around here would be crazy.
Yeah, it was really quick, especially these S's. They're like pretty much flat out, so it was a really quick place, and yeah, it's good fun, really good fun. It was like really heavy as well with all the downforce and stuff like that. No power steering in the IndyCar, so it was definitely one of the tougher ones we went to.
I think the bus stop chicane is going to be a contentious point. So too pit entrance there because it's almost on the racing line. So maybe on lap 1 when they're all packed in together, there could be some drama there. Let's take a lap, and this is a really cool place.
Yeah, turn 1 is tricky because it goes downhill. And you have a bit of camber there, so that helps a bit. But you got to carry the speed, and here you're really going through the S's. I think with the supercar, it's going to be a bit edgy, especially at the start on the first lap. I think it's going to be quite interesting. There's some walls as well for a road course. It's not that usual. So
our mystery driver for this track has been getting quicker and quicker for these onboard laps. Hysterics is flat through the S's. Now this is the chicane coming up. And they'll be using a lot of curb there, not so much there because that tie wall's there, but here.
For sure. We're going to try to make it as straight as you can. And then long right-hander, maybe, you know, bit of a late apex as well here, so maybe some good passing a little bit.
And this big run back towards the second last corner of the track, turn 10, good braking opportunity, really funnels in with the catch fencing and potential for drama going through here because turn 11 bumps up on you very quick in the wall coming up on the outside. Also runs in on you pretty quick. Pit entrance over to the right-hand side.
On the line, yeah.
Yeah, so there might be some drama there, lap 1.
Might be.
Very, very cool track. Opened officially back in the 50s, 3.94 Ks on the short circuit. You would have run the full-length circuit?
Yes, yeah.
Much of a difference, obviously, with the...
Yeah, there's a few more corners and you going a bit more down the hill and back up. But yeah, it's cool.
That's how they'll line up. It's going to be Semper off the front row with Ultimate Age 05. So tonight's 2 race winners Matty Bink, Mad Racer 38, will be coming out of position number 3 alongside XC Mr. Bucket. Holden 96 and Jacob Harvey will be starting off the 3rd row. And Jono Burrows with Superman will be coming off the 4th and final row. Race 9, and look at that. This is the halfway point of the series already, Jake.
I thought race 9 of 18, we're finally there. And what do I know about this? Well, I know that no one's really safe here right now. TDI Zul's been playing better. Bucket as well. Superman, some good performances. Just unfortunate moment there in race number 8. But I think at this halfway point, we know, yes, there's some front runners, but this does not decide the series. Mr. Bucket is showing that right here in the 4th position for, looks like the first time ever in that 3rd race.
Jacob Harvey's shown us that he's not afraid to be aggressive on the opening lap. He's probably going to be a bit angry after what happened to him in race 2. So where is he going to make up spots on lap 1? Turn 1? Can you get the job done down there? It's too tight.
Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, I think you can. And then definitely into the bus stop, I think it's going to be. But turn 1 is a good opportunity. If you get off the line really well, I think it's good, yeah.
So pick up a few spots, and I would also be tipping him to come in on lap 1 because he's pretty much done that every race. So I would be not too surprised if we see him pit on that first lap.
Aggressive, and that first lap, especially people like Ultimate Age 05, Semper, they won't do that. They'll leave it towards the end, as we've seen. And we saw in that second race as well. People like, I think Mr. Bucket was kind of towards that trend.
Yep.
So towards the start, towards the end, that's what we've noticed here. There is no one who pits in the middle of the race, even if they're in a cluster or in a bit of a attack and defense.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Someone needs to roll the dice and just make it happen.
Yeah, you would think if you're in traffic and you can't get by the person who would pit, that's what you would do.
Undercut him.
Yeah, exactly. So
see if Jacob Harvey takes it early. Cause
maybe somebody has to try it and everybody starts trying
different strategy. Yeah, once someone does anything different,
exactly.
It doesn't matter if it's supercars or anything. You will usually see the rest of the pack try it at some point. So this is race 9 of 18, halfway. We're in the lobby right now. We're just queuing up this final race of the night. Thanks for joining us for the 2018 Supercars E-Series. It's all thanks to Boost Mobile and our good buddies at Harvey Norman, which is what we've got Simona De Silvestro on the desk tonight. Racing action continues this weekend with the Virgin Australia Supercars Championship. We're headed over to the Tasman to Pukekohe, one of the fastest tracks of the calendar. It's a little bit Lime Rockish, I guess you could say, and that'll be happening this weekend. So check it out. It's our second last round of the championship. Very, very exciting championship that we've got at the moment between Shane Van Gisbergen, Scott McLaughlin, and Jamie Whincup. And a reminder that we've also got the Cup Series on tomorrow night. So if you want to try these tracks in competition, well, tomorrow night is your chance. Head out and grab yourself an Xbox with Forza Motorsport 7, and you can join the Cup Series action tomorrow night. $150 gift voucher up for grabs for the winner. And actually, just on that, I can tell you that we've already had 30 people sign up for tomorrow night's action. We had 27
awesome.
Last week, 30 tomorrow night.
I want to see 30 more. Remember, you can just rent the Xbox for the night and then play Forza, win the $150 gift card, come back next week, rinse and repeat. By the time you have about $300, maybe $450, buy the Xbox.
Yeah.
So it's pretty straightforward. Use by logistics. Hey, I want to bring you back before we go into the race. What's the weather looking like on the weekend?
Apparently wet at the moment.
Surprise.
Yeah. Exactly. We're headed to New Zealand and it's going to rain, so it seems to be a bit of a theme at the moment.
Do you get excited by wet weather?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, I think it's fun. It just, takes all the car out. It just it's down to you as a driver to kind of figure it out. There's not much setup to it or anything like that, so it's fun.
Yeah, right. So we're not too far away from getting into this final race of the championship. Can you remember your results from Pookie last year? I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
No.
Too hard last year.
Yeah.
12 months ago.
Well, I had like I think one of my tires blew up in one race, so that was kind of, and then I'm not sure what happened to that one. So
All right, we're not too far away from getting this last race. We're in the lobby. We're just getting the last guys locked in. A very quick break. Last race of the night coming up after this.
For centuries, scientists have scanned the skies, contemplating New Zealand's long white cloud, the origins of which have remained a mystery until now.
It's burnout time.
The Gids and his Kiwi cousins won't be holding back in front of their home fans at the penultimate stop on the 2018 calendar. The ITM Auckland Super Sprint, live on Fox Sports.
Boost Mobile. Data hungry? Get up to 30 gigs with every recharge, plus unlimited calls and texts. Now with data rollover, all on Australia's biggest mobile network. Boost Mobile.
Game like the pros, now at Harvey Norman, your home of the great gaming deals. We have the best brands at the best prices, like Predator, Republic of Gamers, Omen, MSI. Hurry in for Predator desktops from only $26.98, Predator laptops from only $24.96, ROG laptops from only $22.96, and MSI laptops from only $18.97. Game like the pros, now at Harvey Norman, in store and online.
Go! Boost Mobile. Data hungry? Get up to 30 gigs with every recharge, plus unlimited calls and texts. Now with data rollover, all on Australia's biggest mobile network. Boost Mobile.
Hey Scotty, who should I choose as New Zealand's new favourite driver?
It has to be someone fast, Murph.
It's nail-biting time. Here comes McLaughlin down the inside. On the grass, very close.
Stay loyal to the Holdens, Murph.
If you're going to pick up a victory, this is the place to do it for Shane Van Gisbergen.
Let's set the Kiwi race fans aside when the boys are back at Pukekohe.
The ITM Auckland Super Sprint, November 2 to 4. Book now at Ticketek and get your heart racing.
2018 Supercars E-Series. It's brought to you by Boost Mobile, and we're not too far away from going into the final race of the night. A big thanks to Simona De Silvestro. It's been great having her on the desk. I think she's been having fun. She's
I need to get into gaming more.
Yeah.
I'm realizing, you know.
It kind of sucks you in like that,
Yeah,
doesn't it? And Hysterics on the desk with us tonight as we go racing at Watkins Glen. We're in upstate New York, and this is a really cool track, actually north of Pennsylvania. And Semper swings around the outside. So that was nice. That was Dave Reynolds at Hidden Valley this year. Just gassed it around the outside, broke late, and will be your race leader heading up the S's for the first time.
Look at our top four here, Chad. Look who they are.
Usual suspects.
Yep.
Usual suspects indeed. Top four in the championship, but they're mixed up a little bit in their order. Let's see Mr. Bucket is the man out the back, and he's actually having a look at Ultimate Age 05, heading up to the bus stop chicane. Gee, that was a good start from Haro 5. Did exactly what he needed to do. Now, checking the list of guys here, Haro 5 is pretty much the only one who's been pitting on lap 1 out of this battle pack.
Can
historically.
I just say, off topic, Semper has a glorious beard. Like, that beard has seen things. That's fantastic.
Don't get enough of that in supercars anymore. Good, strong beards. There's a few out there, but nothing quite like that. Semper, your race leader. And will we see Haro 5 into the pits on this opening lap?
Oh, he was on the grass there a little bit.
That was a huge lockup, and he'll drop back a few spots. And Haro 5 does pit. He'll be hoping that these guys square off. Again, Mad Racer 38 versus Ultimate Age 05. How much have we seen that over the last 3 weeks?
What a good change, though, especially today. Ultimate Age 05 didn't start out too flash hot, but in this last couple of races, finally see him take those top positions. So in second right now, right on the tail of Mad Racer 38, who we haven't seen a win out of today, and maybe it's fair to say that he's due for one.
He's driving like a champion, Mad Racer 38. He had one bad race, and that was 4th. So doing pretty good.
We'll take that, yeah.
Through the bus stop. Adrian Yalpi's pretty good under brakes down there. Oh, big slide for Matty Bink. We'll check out some replays from this opening lap. And this will be the mistake from Semper. He did. Dropped a wheel. He picked it, Simona. Put that left wheel on the grass.
I think it could have been so much worse.
Yeah, could have sprayed it completely into the fence. So Haro 5 is pitted. He has clean air. And he'll be laughing that no one else came in on that first lap. That's worked out brilliantly for him. And again, this is Ultimate Age 05's chance. He's pits this lap, or the strategy really doesn't apply to him. No, he's convinced that he's going to run with Mad Racer 38. Should have asked him about it, because we've seen this every week out of him. He's happy to sit behind him.
Yeah.
He did this last week and the week before, where he sat behind Mad Racer 38. I guess he said, that guy's the quickest, so if I'm with him, I'm at least a chance of getting this off.
Makes him feel better, a bit of morale.
If you can run with the championship leader, you're doing well.
No one else pitted, though, Chad, on the other side. It was just Haro 05.
Okay. So, yeah, true. Still 40 seconds out the back as this race settles into its rhythm. Your leader, once again, is Mad Racer 38 from Ultimate Age 05. Matty Bink, the Victorian. But that is definitely a spot where he's quick going through there under brakes. Adrian Yalpi, winner of race 8, the reverse grid race. Well, we have 3 different race winners tonight. We did for round 2.
We do.
Mad Racer 38 picked 2 wins at the opening round, and he's close here. Will he block to the left-hand side, or will Adrian have a go under brakes? No. The level of respect shown for online racing compared to what you'd normally find.
Yeah, I know. It's well, I play video games like I literally run into everything. But like, you know,
He pits.
it's crazy.
So this is a different strategy for him. He's not going to look at the back of
Maybe he's listening,
Mad Racer.
be like, oh.
He's got it.
But he didn't even try on the first lap,
Yeah.
so yeah.
I think he wanted to test his speed, and he saw that he was actually quicker than the race leader, so he thought the time to do it is in the lane. So if you're Mad Racer 38, do you pit this lap to answer it, or do you stay out there and just make the most of the clean track? Historically, he's pitted on the second last lap pretty much every race.
I've never seen someone pit on what looks to be the first third.
Yeah, this would be an unusual time to pit. How about this battle pack? Semper, XE Mr. Bucket, Holden 96. They're putting the pressure on the man who picked up a race win earlier tonight.
To be fair, Semper still in that now second position, but realistically third. Has maintained this distance quite well, so still could have been a lot worse around that side. A couple of corners going a bit wide, but yeah, close stuff.
Got the run on him, and it's a left-hander here too, so XE Mr. Bucket should pop through on the left-hand side. It's tight.
Yep.
Holden's there as well.
Hope he wasn't planning on pitting this lap because he's not going to see the pit entrance here. He's just committed now. And we'll see more pit stops. Semper and Holden 96 and the race leader.
All three of them, they just run into each other. Semper's been sent to the side.
Gave him a shot on the way in. So the race is between Mad Racer 38 and these two. Ultimate Age 05 and Har 05 are both pitted. And this is a different strategy from just about everyone except Har 05. It's his usual lap one strategy, but we are yet to see Ultimate Age 05 and Mad Racer 38 pit this early in a race. How will this play out? XE Mr. Bucket now the race leader.
But Har 05 needs something here, especially since what happened last game is going to hurt him in the long run. That DNF, just like TDI Zul's, is going to haunt them. So if Har 05 can get a second or a third.
Our question's about to be answered here, Jake, in about 5 seconds. The exit of turn 1 is where the pit exit is. So hard on the brakes, and we should see a car pop up any second. Has he got him? No, that was a really good stop for Mad Racer 38.
Yeah.
What an in-lap. He's gapped him by 10 car lengths. So maybe it wasn't a good outlap for Ultimate Age 05, and he's lost a second somewhere. How about the battle for third, though?
So close. Last race has always given us what we wanted.
Yeah, the last race of the night's been the closest at round 1 and 2, both separated by just 0.3 of a second. To give you a bit of perspective. The run through the bus stop chicane is tight for Har 05. In a 3-car scrap, he's wide through the right-hander. The door opens slightly, but not enough. Oh, a bit of contact. So small rub in the background, and here we go. Semper versus Har 05. Matty Collins along for the ride.
Thought we saw more contact, I guess.
See, that's tight.
Lost the camera.
Last corner. Jacob Harvey just a little bit wide and brings the rest of the field with him. The aggression's gone up a notch. Holden 96 with a run on the front straight. Looks to the inside. It's a big braking zone, but not quite close enough. Semper again on the grass. Cost himself a little bit there.
Holden's putting up a really good fight here.
Superman out of the pits and in this pack now. Gee, this is a good scrap. So only 2 drivers not to pit. XE Mr. Bucket is one of them. And he'll be in this battle pack when he comes out, so that'll add some spice.
Hopefully TDI Zul's not too far behind as well. Still can't get over race 1. I mean, that's just unfortunate. But top 5, like that was good placement. We can see even better here. He's just got to make some brave moves around here as we're on lap 7, and hopefully TDI Zul's can keep with the pack.
Well, TDI Zul's has got clean air at the moment, so the strategy for him would be stay out there because he's only going to drop himself into this battle pack if he comes in now.
Yeah.
So stay out there, use the clean air, and go all the way to lap 14. It's the quickest way home from here. It's kind of, the race has come to him a little bit. Same with XE Mr. Bucket. Same strategy. Stay out there, pit on the last lap, and then you're limiting how much time you're going to lose fighting everyone. Because he's going to come somewhere into this battle pack. So the strategy would be right now for the guys at the front to stay out there. Where are they going to fall into this battle pack? Long way to go. Final race of the night at the Glen.
Data hungry? Get up to 30 gigs with every recharge, plus unlimited calls and texts. Now with data rollover, all on Australia's biggest mobile network.
For centuries, scientists have scanned the skies, contemplating New Zealand's long white cloud, the origins of which have remained a mystery until now.
It's burnout time.
The Gids and his Kiwi cousins won't be holding back in front of their home fans at the penultimate stop on the 2018 calendar. The ITM Auckland Super Sprint, live on Fox Sports.
Game like the pros, now at Harvey Norman, your home of the great gaming deals. We have the best brands at the best prices, like Predator, Republic of Gamers, Omen, MSI. Hurry in for Predator desktops from only $26.98, Predator laptops from only $24.96, ROG laptops from only $22.96, and MSI laptops from only $18.97. Game like the pros, now at Harvey Norman, in store and online.
Go!
Hey Scotty, who should I choose as New Zealand's new favourite driver?
It has to be someone fast, Murph.
It's nail-biting time. Here comes McLaughlin down the inside. In the grass, very close.
Stay loyal to the Holdens, Murph.
If you're going to pick up a victory, this is the place to do it for Shane Van Gisbergen.
Let's set the Kiwi race fans aside when the boys are back at Pukekohe.
The ITM Auckland Super Sprint, November 2 to 4. Book now at Ticketek and get your heart racing.
Boost Mobile. Data hungry? Get up to 30 gigs with every recharge, plus unlimited calls and texts. Now with data rollover, all on Australia's biggest mobile network. Boost Mobile.
It is the Boost Mobile Supercars E-Series. Great battles going up and down the pack on race 9, halfway point for the 2018 Supercars E-Series, the inaugural running of this championship, and it's been exciting so far. Usual suspects are fighting at the front of the pack, but there's a couple of wild cards with XC Mr. Bucket and TDI Zulls yet to pit, and their speed at the moment looks pretty similar.
I'd love to see where they are on the track right now, because if they can build up a lead, like you said, then maybe they can come in at a favourable time. There we go. And actually, that's a big lead there from Mr. Bucket. Zulls behind him.
Well, it's good because these guys don't have any pressure. You know, the other ones are battling and stuff like that, so you're always looking around a little bit more, so they're a bit of a clean sailing.
And we got all 8 on the circuit as
crash.
well. Oh, no!
At the bus stop chicane, and he's going to potentially take Superman with him.
Oh, Semper.
Good thing you got that car moving, because he was sitting in the middle of the road.
But that's probably going to ruin his race right here. Superman has built up a bit of distance as well, and he was so far behind. And now Semper is going to have to challenge that bottom 5.
Oh, man, that was tight, and it's going to cost him some points. Surely he'll drop to the back of the pack after the pit stops have been completed.
That was a big hit, too.
Let's check this one out once again. Just ran it straight.
Oh. Just decided it was...
Oh, and he took...
Yeah, he took mate with him. Yeah. So that was how close it was. He sort of had to take evasive action. So back to this fight for essentially the lead of the race now. Mad Racer 38, Ultimate Age 05. He's caught him. Oh. He was a full second back, and he has reeled him in.
On him, yep.
Here's his chance.
Whoa!
Oh. Not there.
Bus stop coming up.
Up to the bus stop. That's where we saw that crash earlier in the tyre wall. Not an easy spot to make a move stick.
Some dangerous plays here today. We've seen a lot of crashes, and we've seen a lot of burnouts as well.
Now, if these two scrap here, and Mad Racer 38's feeling the pressure, it could mean that these guys in the pits now pop out ahead of them. XC Mr. Bucket is done with his pit stop. TDI Zulls is now your race leader. And there's your track map, so you can follow the battle pack that we're watching. It's a long pit lane, though, 52 seconds. So he just has to sit there and wait. Didn't quite get the battle he needed. If anything, he needed to wait a bit longer before the pit stop. Let these guys scrap for a while.
Is he going to be all right, though?
It's going to be close. It's going to be very close.
Such a long pit.
Has he timed this brilliantly, waiting for it to get out of the pit exit? Ultimate Age 05 has half a look again at Mad Racer 38. They're both going to swing around the outside
be close.
of XC Mr. Bucket. There they go. I reckon he just needed to leave that 2 laps later, maybe. And if these guys had had a scrap, potentially they would have cost each other a second, and that would have been the second he needed.
So Mr. Bucket falls back, but still TDI Zulls, he'll take the lead. He'll take that clean air as you were talking about, and he's got 4 laps to play with.
And side by side with with Haro 5 going up towards the bus stop chicane.
Haro 5 needs that win. He needs something in the podium, or at least getting close to it. to maintain that lead in the top 4.
Now, TDI Zulz was 4 seconds back from XC Mr. Bucket when he pitted.
Oh.
So he'll pop out in between the 2 battle packs, I reckon. You can see the 2 packs that are formed. He'll be almost dead in the middle of them. So fight for first and fight for third.
Should he have
5 to get him.
Should he have not pitted here? Should he have waited maybe till lap 14?
Oh, absolutely. XC Mr. Bucket should have.
But what about TDI Zulz here?
Same strategy. If you've got clean air, use it. All you're going to do is drop yourself into behind enemy lines.
Maybe in case he forgot. He's feeling so good. He's like, wait, I got to pit.
There go the leaders. Here comes Hyro 5 and XC Mr. Bucket, and he'll be right in the middle of everything here. He might just come out with his next battle pack. Here they come. He's got them. Just.
Only just.
Be tight heading up, and he's clear of Holden 96. But Holden 96 has got the momentum. Gee, there's fights for first, third, and now 5th on the track.
Ultimate Age being so aggressive here as well. He's looking for the overtake.
Again, one of the best races we've seen of the championship, race 3, turning it on. And it's been these 2 in race 3 every race so far.
For the lead, too,
yeah.
So it's really good.
At Bathurst, that's how they finished. At Catalunya, that's how they finished. And again, at Watkins Glen, rinse and repeat. This is a tight battle.
3 laps to go. So calming. We lost the road noise for a second there. We just got the radio, apparently.
So where can he make this move stick? He seems quicker through the bus stop chicane, but that's not going to help him.
Ultimate Age just not letting up at all.
He's hounding him at the moment.
There's a big gap between 2nd and 3rd as well, so Mr. Bucket
no.
has managed to maintain.
Haro 5's dropped back to last.
Oh, I'm not sure
what happened
there.
to Jacob Harvey. It's not a DNF. He's dropped back to last, though, so something's happened to him.
But look, I'm going to be that guy again. Positivity, Mr. Bucket and Zulz, a 3rd and 4th. This makes me so happy. And for Jacob Harvey, yes, we said he needed that top 3, top 4 maybe, to extend it out to kind of be in that top 4 position overall. Wow. This is going to hit him hard.
He's having a rough night, isn't he? A pair of 8s heading his way, and these guys are ripping it up at the front. It's going to be a long way back from where he is at the moment.
Could have been the moment. Next 2 laps are going to be huge for Mad Racer and Ultimate Age here. This battle for 1st and 2nd is not letting up. Mr. Bucket, that distance there has just grown since Haro 05 dropped to 8th position. So 1st and 2nd look like they're pretty secure right now for one of these 2 players. But that 1st position, of course, is going to be everything here.
Doesn't XC Mr. Bucket come to play tonight? Back-to-back podiums potentially headed his way.
American circuit looks good for him.
Yeah, well, the good news for him is next week's tracks. It's the Americas again. Road America is first up. Absolutely amazing circuit. Sonoma's short circuit and a run around the Grand Prix circuit at Indy. Again, 3 tracks that Simona's been to.
Oh, no.
All right, so while this battle pack is raging at the front, let's watch what happened here for... Oh, man. Okay, so it's a big one.
What?
What happened there?
That's all we've got.
Hang on.
But he has had a NASCAR-style shunt going through the S's. So
wow.
Wait. I'm not entirely sure what's happened to him.
Next level grab.
He was fighting for 3rd at the time.
Okay.
Was it
I don't know.
Clint Boyer who did that?
I don't know, but that's
impressive.
See, if that should go on YouTube, you know, and then be like, oh my God, look at that.
Chuck that up on Twitch.
But like, if we were on Lime Rock Park before and we didn't even see a jump out of the car, so something that big.
That's the first one we've had upside down.
Yeah.
There you go.
In 9 races. So
wow. Okay.
It's a fast place to get it done.
Haro 05 at the moment, I think, pretty much out of the picture.
Yeah, it's costing him badly tonight. It's not been his night.
Definitely hasn't, but...
Dying stages of this one.
Different story in these 2.
And he's got 1 lap to get it done. Ultimate Age 05, fresh off a race win earlier.
Still right behind him as well.
But where can he make it stick? Mad Racer 38 has won race 3.
Oh,
no, it's 1 and 2, and he's got to throw it away. That's the 2nd time tonight he's had a moment on the last lap, and it's pointing him in the wrong direction.
And it's Bucket and Holden who take over Chad. Zulz will come up the back as well. He's lost the speed.
Oh, man.
Zulz just swings past him. 5th now.
Oh, he's thrown away a couple of 2nd places tonight at least. He could have finished 2nd, 1st, 2nd tonight, Ultimate Age 05, if it had gone the other way.
And realistically, he should have.
Yep.
So what happened there, guys? Because that was just...
Oh, man. This has gone from being the closest race of the year
To the
Yeah, the biggest margin of
closest.
victory in one lap. Over 3 seconds the gap now. Mad Racer 38 is about to extend his championship lead in style. He came in with a 30-point championship lead tonight. He's going to lead with a much, much bigger lead than that because all the championship contenders are falling away. At Watkins Glen in fine style. It's Mad Racer 38, and he's going to let it all hang out. Winner of race 9.
Obviously, at that point, you've got to do something to style your way through first.
Stole points as well. XE Mr. Bucket gets his best race result. TDI Zulls misses the podium, but gets his best race result as well in 4th. He definitely deserved that. And some drama to cap off the last night. What happened there to Ultimate Age 05?
Yeah, I think he just lost the rear a bit. Too much gas.
Do you think he was
No,
potentially...
I think he must have been close. We saw him kind of pop out and then maybe got a little bit of a touch or whatever. And just when you go so fast, there's something really quick to
Maybe
happen,
looking
I
for
think.
the overtake aggressively.
Yeah.
This is like the last
tough spot to
chance
make it
for me.
stick. I think desperation went up a note. If he missed the first race tonight at Long Beach, he did something similar on the last lap where he was fighting for the lead. So he's had a couple slip away from him tonight. It's going to cost him some points.
It is, but we'll start with Haro here because this was the one that cost, I think, the leaderboard in total. Haro finishing in 8th position. Now, we're not sure what happened, but there was a flip of extraordinary proportions that we haven't seen here yet.
Man, how about that?
Do we have a replay of that?
That's the only bit of it we
just
caught.
that
That's what we
half.
got.
The half.
It was so extreme, that's all we saw of
That's
it.
all we saw.
we got a snapshot.
How about this? 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in the championship finish. 3rd last, 2nd last, and last.
Even 5th. Even Superman was so far down. Like, the
amazing.
leaderboard is going to change massively.
Mad Racer 38 is going to seriously gap the field.
Oh, yeah.
The way things are going at the moment. 18 minutes, 50 seconds. So just under 3 seconds. He lost a bit of time celebrating, but well mighty by that point. Quickest lap of the race. A few guys dipping into the 111s. 111.81. Holden 96 gets his quickest lap of the race. He's really been coming on strongly as well. If there was a surprise packet tonight for me, XE Mr. Bucket. We haven't seen that kind of speed from him. I think the American tracks, like you mentioned, clearly suit him a pair of podiums.
He's got one. He's got another whole circuit to go next week as well. So hopefully we see the same performance come out of him. We see TDI Zulls actually climbing up as well. And although they're not really podium finishers, they're my podium finishers, top 5 podium. It's gonna catch on eventually.
All right, we need 2 more steps on either side of the podium.
Exactly.
Really small steps.
Yeah, we'll see if we can make that happen for you. Hey, I think we've got Matty Bink live right now, ready to speak to us. Can you hear us there, Mad Racer 38?
Loud and clear.
Oh, man, that was exciting stuff. What happened to your good buddy Adrian on the last lap?
To your caravan.
Oh, must have unhooked it a bit early. Wow, that was intense. I don't know what happened up the hill. I looked back at it sideways with smoke, but he was on it in that race. I thought I had a bit of a gap early, but yeah.
Yeah, well, he pushed you pretty hard. Did you see where all your major competitors finished? Because they were pretty much last, second last, and third last.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there were some pretty big results
Did
there.
something happen early on, or
Haro
did they
5,
just not have the pace?
He flipped.
Yeah, Haro 5 was upside down at one point. So we're not too sure what happened to him.
Get into him over that.
Yeah, he's had a pair of 8s tonight, so it's not been his night. We're checking out the highlights right now. The opening lap, you're stuck in behind Semper, but he dropped the left rear off on lap 1, and you didn't wait for much more of an opportunity.
No, I have to take them when they come, especially against somebody who's running as quick as he was all weekend.
We saw earlier pit stops tonight.
Yeah, just a couple of times I was bottled up behind people, so I took a pit stop, and in the last one I had to cover Adrian because quite clearly he had a good pace in that race.
But you look pretty clean on the circuits tonight. What was your preparation like, and was this kind of, did the American circuit suit you better?
I tend to prefer the European circuits. But, I practiced quite a lot on Lime Rock and Watkins Glen because I figured everybody goes for the track that you're going to qualify on, so I'd hope that I'd get something back in the reverse grid.
You won your 2 practice races at Long Beach this week. Were you disappointed not to win there tonight? You were almost lucky to come away with 4th in the end.
Not too disappointed. The times there was ridiculously close. I think I qualified, 7th, and it was a 10th up. I would have been in the top 3, so it was just a hard game there.
We're watching that battle right now, and he was trying to get a run on you up the hill potentially, and he just lost the rear, had the world's slowest, longest spin, left him pointing the wrong way, which put XE Mr. Bucket up there. Hey, we saw some pretty different results. XE Mr. Bucket and TDI Zulls are both quick tonight.
All coming on form. They're all good races, all good pace. In the leaderboard, you tend to see Bucket up the top, and Jono's doing a good job. He's got quite a lot of pace. I expect a few wins from them before the season's out.
Well, nice work, buddy. You've been pushing pretty hard so far this season. How's the XL Championship coming on? He's been meaning to get into the XL Championship here, Simona, so he's not too far away from getting into that. What's the latest there, mate?
I finished top 10 in Pro B in this season, and we've just got our Enduro at Winton in December, so hoping me and Dave Musgrave can push up the grid there and have a good result.
If you're looking for a co-driver, Simona's not got a lot on this summer, so maybe you might be able to snare Simona for a drive at Winton.
Oh, sorry, it was cutting in and out a bit there, but if you're up for a co-drive, come on.
You might have to slap some Nissan badges on it for her and see if you can pass scrutineering. But well done, buddy. You've got a giant championship lead halfway through, so keep it going.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Alrighty, that is Mad Racer 38, Matty Bink, and that championship picture right now, guys, he has blown out that championship lead. Can anyone catch him from here? I guess that's the big question.
The question is going to answer itself in the next couple of weeks because we're already on to race 9. We just finished, and now we've got 9 races to go. And I'm kind of excited because the way Ultimate Age and Matty Bink are fighting it out, it looks like we've got 2 really good drivers who are going to stay in that top 2.
Yeah, and everybody else looks pretty quick as well, you know. Depends what
and
tracks you're going to go.
we don't have to bag out TDI Zulls.
Exactly,
Or, you know.
He's a genuine contender now. Just a reminder, next week's tracks, we'll quickly rattle them off again. We've got Road America, which is one of the coolest tracks anywhere in America. Sonoma and Indy, which is the GP circuit. Your thoughts on those 3 tracks?
Yeah, it's cool. Well, it's going to be pretty similar than Watkins Glen, the first one. And then, the Grand Prix track is interesting. It's a bit more European-y, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, they're all fun places.
Just before we get into the championship points, we've got Haro 5 on the line as well. Jacob, can you hear us there, mate?
Yeah, I got you, Chad.
Not your night, buddy.
No, definitely not.
So what happened? Firstly, what happened to you in race 2?
Disconnected from the session.
Oh, man. Does that happen much when you're online?
I haven't had that happen for a very long time.
Oh.
Was it just internet or was it just the game? What happened?
Just the lobby, I think, because I stayed connected to the net and everything stayed up, but I just dropped out of the lobby.
Oh, man, that is a bad beat,
Zulls
brother.
in race 1.
Yeah, right. So we saw that happen to him. He was on for potentially a podium. Hey, what happened then in that race? We just saw you sliding upside down going through the S's.
Bucket came out of the pits. No, he didn't.
It was the lap after the rejoin, I think.
Yeah, he got a run on me, and then we made the S's, and I went around. I don't know much else from there because I was upside down.
Yeah, we only saw the end of it following the other guys coming through. So not your night, mate. Unlucky. You've got a few points to make up now. Can you crawl back up towards the top?
I doubt it.
Oh, come on, there's more enthusiasm. Yeah, you're still like 4th or 5th. You're fine. You got 9 races to go. You'll be right, Jake.
You've got Simona cheering for you, buddy. So best of luck.
There you go.
I think it's probably going to need some disconnects from other people for me to make up that margin now.
All right, I'll get Simona onto it for you.
Internet,
Never know. Best of luck next week, mate. Unlucky tonight.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, there is Jacob Harvey, who was our pre-season favourite. Coming into it, that wraps up the action for night number 3. A big thank you to Simona De Silvestro, who's going to run off and get an Xbox now. What did you think of her experience
here tonight? I actually have one at home.
Okay.
I just
prepared.
Need to
blow the dust off it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Get it back out there.
I just get too frustrated, to be honest, with playing video games sometimes. But, so... Luckily, I have LG, so when I get mad at it and throw the remote at it, they can come up with something again. So,
I thought you were talking about breaking the screen.
No. Exactly.
She's got them lined up for all the rage quits as they happen.
I get frustrated. I really do, because, when you're driving, you just feel a lot and you try to drive like the race car sometimes, and on the video game you have to change that a little bit sometimes, and it can be a bit frustrating for us.
Whoever wins the $150 voucher tomorrow night on the Cup Series, can you please buy Simona 1 or 2 extra controllers? Because she's been breaking them every time she plays the Xbox lately. But New Zealand this week, for real? No chance to break the controller over there?
No, hopefully not.
Yep.
Hopefully the the car will stay together. No internet falling out, no nothing. So,
and you get the car back to yourself this week.
Yeah, exactly. So no, it should be good. It's a fun weekend going there to track. I really like it.
Yeah.
Last year we were pretty quick, so it was a good one for us. So yeah, look forward to go there.
All right, before we say goodbye and goodnight, let's check out the championship picture and see exactly what damage Mad Racer has done on the field. Oh my goodness. 42 points now. It was 30 at the beginning of the night.
That's as good as getting your Christmas shopping done in October.
He's won when you win the race or the championship pretty much halfway through, which is almost what he's done. That is, like you mentioned, getting your Christmas shopping done 2 months early. Yeah. And he is flying right now. Like Jacob Harvey mentioned, it's a long way back from there. TDI Zulz
it's not
picks
impossible.
Up some points.
I mean, he talked about it like it was the most impossible thing in the world. He's
yeah.
still on 88 points. For someone like TDI Zulz, he needs first only. If he gets first each and every single race, then maybe he can take over Mad Racer.
He's going to need some luck to come back from that fight. Our next in Mr. Bucket got a bunch of points tonight. He's almost in that fight now for fourth in the championship. Just 12 points off the back. So exciting stuff. And how will this work now for Mad Racer 38, who is just flying? Fourth is worst result.
If he holds on the podium each and every time, no matter what, even if it's third or second, I think Mad Racer is going to be in pretty good contention to take away that championship. And at the moment, Mad Racer was not the person we expected to be in this position. The real-life racer is also pretty good in the game as well.
Who would have thought? So just a reminder, tomorrow night, the Cup Series. If you want to race on those 3 tracks that you saw, you've been able to jot down some tips from Simona De Silvestro along the way. It's going to be on tomorrow night, similar time. Go down there and sign up at supercars.eseries.com. And I just want to give a big shout-out to GJ Newton, who was last week's winner, picked himself up.
Nice.
$150 gift voucher. Thank you to Simona. It's been great having you on the panel tonight.
Thank you.
Also, thank you to Jake. Hopefully you recover from PAX.
Don't worry about me. No, I will. This has been a good recovery in itself.
He was licking his wounds earlier.
This as always.
It's always good fun. Brian Ingerston will be in the hot seat next week. She's been here gearing up for her first experience on the Boost Mobile Supercars Series. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you next week.